The money there. Coming squares. Juice in the town, they say they down for me. Weird people around, they say they down for me. One stuck on the ground and talking down on me. Why they got the whole blame coming down? What's going on, Facebook? What's going on, YouTube? Going down on me. Let me man up and get down to it. Take an angle if you get around to it. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Uh-oh. Backfeed. I hear myself. That's not what I'm trying to do. It's not what I'm trying to do. What's going on with you guys? It's Wednesday. What is it? The 22nd? 22nd of May? What's up, Tanika? Hit you with a wave. What's going on with you guys out there? My name is Tyrone Irvin, host and moderator, the show Soapbox Heroes. I don't know if it's a show, a podcast, something we do on the internet. So today we're going to be doing the Soapbox Heroes question of the day, and we're going to get into some news. And as usual, I'm going to share my screen with you guys so you see what I see. So you see what I see. Gonna get into it just a little bit. Let me share over here one time for your mind. How you doing? When you join in, wave back. I'll be waving to people. They be looking at me and getting back on like I got to get out of here. It's in the morning. It's on the West Coast, 7:30 out there, 9:30 here in Texas. Hopefully I can catch you on the way to work, sitting at your desk or something. Let me share my screen with you guys. Going to start over here on YouTube today with the screen share first. YouTube getting the special treatment first today. Facebook, you guys always get the special treatment. Get over here with the screen share over here in these Facebook streets. See if we got our screen on. On and on. Like Erykah Badu. On and on. On and on. All right, you guys, we're going to go ahead and get into it. Let me see. Screen share, sharing now. Looking over here on YouTube, it's not quite shared up yet. See what I got to do. What I got to do. Facebook got the screen up. What's up, Facebook? Let me get that back right. I had to stop it over there, stop it over here, restart it over here so we could be clear. Give a little hippity hop in the morning. That's what the elders say. You guys be over there with that hippity hop. Turn off that hippity hop. Turn off that hippity hop. What's up, Salik? Jamel Jones, what's up? What's up? Good morning. Good morning. You guys treat people right at work today and make sure they treat you right in return. We're going to go ahead and get into the question. So the question was, I asked this question the other day. I haven't got to my question of the day in a couple of days. I've been ripping and running, trying to make it happen, Captain. But the question is, I know Steve Harvey has said some bonehead stuff, but why are people celebrating his downfall? See what the people got to say. What the people got to say. Peace, Salik. Peace, fam. Peace, peace. That was going to be a good debate last night, Salik. I was ready for it. I was ready. And then when it got canceled, I fell asleep right away. All right. So let me get into it. Again, just in case you just now tuning in, I got to talking to Salik real quick. I know Steve Harvey has said some bonehead stuff, but why are people celebrating his downfall? Bridget Vincent says, never celebrate a person's downfall because you might be next. Karan Wiggins said, would you consider it a downfall, though? Then hit him with the And I said, no, not really. But him losing 3 shows and going through a 3rd divorce, I hear people calling it a downfall. She says, Tyrone Irvin, but I didn't know he was divorcing, but okay. But he's worth $160 million and have several successful businesses. Isn't a downfall. All right. She got 2 more replies. I wonder if that was me bumping my gums. I said, I agree. Then Naviar says, Karan Wiggins, I hear that, but I think downfall is relative to what you achieve. Wow. He did have a loss, and for how it sounds like they did him cold as ice. Okay. She said it's cold as ice. What's up, Rob? Cold as ice. And again, we're going over the question of the day. It's about Steve Harvey. The question is, why are people celebrating his downfall? And we got some news that we're going to get into. We're going to talk a little bit about Kamala Harris, Ben Carson. We're going to talk a little bit about there was a person killed in Dallas, Maisha Booker. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a few things. Jimmy Newsom says, we all fall down. He has to stand up to rise up. Okay, he got to stand up to rise up. Gabriel Johnson says, jealousy, crab in the barrel mentality. Crab in the barrel. All right. Bonnie Rose says, right. All right. I hear you guys. You guys saying it's the old crab in the barrel. Crab in the barrel. Let's keep scrolling to see what the people say. Gabriel Johnson comes back and he says, black people love the downfall of another black person, and it's sickening. Okay. Let me scroll down. Kimmy Denise got the I don't know his name. What is it? Futurama? And he doing the pimp stroll walking out of court and says, haters gonna hate. Gabriel says, big facts. All right. Some more replies to that. He say, big facts. Talk to me. I talk back. Duke, what's happening with you, man? Hi, Betty Boo. Good morning. What's good, Duke? Pasino, Montana. What's up? Duke in the building. Yeah, Duke in the building. You know when Duke in the building. Salik, we rolling, Salik. We need you to come jump on. We need you to come jump on. Let me keep going. Kimmy Denise says, Gabriel Johnson, sad reality. Then I come back and I say, I don't like everything he has said, but I can't celebrate a man going through it. Gabriel says, I can't watch or celebrate nobody going through a downfall. Then he comes back and says, Tyrone Irvin, there's millions of people who have said or did something I don't agree with, but I will almost never wish a downfall on any human. The Aaron Harris comes back. He says, Gabriel, almost, because Gabriel said he almost won't wish the downfall of any human. He pointing out that almost. He said that, hey, you're not saying unequivocally anybody. You left that almost in there. Bonnie Rouse says, Gabriel Johnson, I'm agreeing with you. Melvin Lucas says, Gabriel Johnson, black people are so effing ignorant, it's pitiful. I'm Black Melvin. You calling me ignorant? Who you calling ignorant? Who you calling ignorant? Kimberly Rose says, no need to celebrate his current misfortune. No need to care either. Pay it no mind. Give it no time. You dig? What Kimberly Rose said, Narviar said, I would agree that it's not a downfall per se, but yes, a setback. I think people have started to question his authentic support of the black community. Whether it is valid or not, makes them want him to get his just due. I've seen it with OJ, Cosby, and so many others. When someone black and or from other communities come up and we feel like they now down no more. Oh, she said that they feel like they're not down no more. We can be hurt. Shoot, you feel betrayed to someone because while we stand out here navigating these racial streets unfairly, black people have a cross to bear and it's heavy. At the same time, dang, time. There will always be outsiders, but I don't believe that the black community as a whole want to see the brother's demise. We might have to fight amongst each other and others, but I promise that we'll see tears. Tupac voice. I should have did that in my Tupac voice. And I read these verbatim. It's morning time, so I can't say all of the curse words. You might have your youngin' in the whip with you. El Martin says, Steve is a POS. And you know what that means? Piece of sausage. Oh, man. Send me the link. I'll send you the link right now, Duke. You guys give me 1 second. Let me take down the screen share. We're going to have Duke on. Yeah, Duke. Come help out with news you can use. Let me send the link. Yeah, you guys, Duke Farrell. I looked over in the comments over here on YouTube. Duke says, send the link. Gotcha. Tell me something good. What's going on, you guys? Tell me something good. Tell me something good. What is it? Got you. Link sent, Duke. Link sent. Link sent. All right, let me get back to it. When you pop on, Duke, I'm going to see you over here. And we're going to add you right in. We're going to add you right in. I asked another question today, and I see him talking about it. I can't wait to go read the responses to that question of the day. I'll probably come back and do that tonight. I might come back and do that tonight. Let me get my screens shared back up so you can see what is up. And the question is, I know Steve Harvey has said some bonehead things, but why are we celebrating his downfall? Get back to it. Like I know how to do it. Bam, screen share. We got back to it. All right, Duke, if you're still watching, I sent the link. And I can send you a text. All this technology. All this technology. Link sent to email. Payal. All right, we're going to get back to it. And I left off on L. Martin said, Steve is a POS. A POS. You know what that means? You know what it means. Hold on, you guys. Let me do a little screen correction over here. What is going on with the lights? I done faded to black. Let me get back to these Houston streets. Got too much goings on. All right. Nas Johnson says he's all right. He gives people advice about situations like this all the time. He done gave advice about gossip and backlash, so he will be okay. He's just collecting the energy he put out. It's up to him to decide his next moves and how he wants things to be. Hopefully, he learned a lesson or two, though. Okay. All right. He's saying hopefully he learned his lesson. It's always lessons to be learned. Always lessons to be learned. Let me move down. L. Martin, Tyrone Irvin. I have interacted with dude when I was in college. He's phony, always have been. But too many black people follow celebs like him. They have become successful and he's black. Okay. I hear you. I hear you. Thank you, Ashley, for sharing. Thank you. I was going to make some jokes about the size of your head the other day, but I said I ain't gonna get her right now. I'm gonna let her pass, but I just slid in one just now. Like a little underhanded joke. It's my cousin. Okay, I see you. We got Duke Farrell in the house. Duke, what's good with you, man? I see you got your pause button. I mean your mute button on.
See, unmute. What's the deal, man?
There
Shout
you
out
go.
to Soapbox Heroes. What's
There
going
you
on,
go.
man? You hear me?
What's going on, man? We going over the Soapbox Heroes. We was going over the question of the day, and the question was about Steve Harvey. And the question was, I know Steve Harvey has said some boneheaded things, but why are people celebrating his downfall? What you think, Duke? Why people celebrating his downfall?
Let me sip the Remy first. Hold on.
Early in the morning with the Remy? Hold on.
Early in the morning, man. Early in the morning. Look. Now, the reason
early in the AM?
Early in the AM, man. You know, I'm on Florida.
We put these headphones on.
I'm on Paradise time, man. You know, so that's just how it is, man. When you on Paradise time, that's just how it go. But the reason why I think a lot of people are celebrating his downfall is because, you know, he's one of them gatekeepers. You know?
Okay.
He's one of those gatekeepers that's been, you know, doing this thing here and there. You feel what I'm saying? And, you know, people are just envious. So, you know what I'm saying? When a gatekeeper go down, of course you're going to hear an uproar of people just saying this and that. Because a lot of people was mad because he had a beautiful woman.
Right,
you know right. If you just think about it, he was on this show, that show, this show. You know how the crab in the buckets do. And I heard somebody say that earlier. That's just how it goes. And then on top of that, he went against Monique on some, I'd rather provide for my kids, sell my soul, stick to the Illuminati program or whatnot, you know, then speak out because I enjoy this Uncle Tom living.
he enjoyed the fruits of not standing up, not saying nothing.
Exactly. And so now, you know, people done pitted against him. A book done came out. His woman, like I say, man, I say this all the time. Just because she got a nice shape and a nice face,
right,
that don't mean you're gonna meet your fate with somebody like this. Black widow spiders are beautiful. You know what I mean?
Right.
They beautiful until you bust a nut.
Yeah, they're not so beautiful no more. Wait, hold on one second, Duke. Hey, you guys on Facebook, if you can, you got to go over to the YouTube channel because you can't hear Duke Farrell. We got Duke Farrell on, and you probably can't see him either because I can only share on one application at a time. So Facebook, we're going to end this love affair, and you guys come over there to the YouTube channel.
Yeah, come to YouTube, man. Come to
Go
YouTube.
to YouTube.
You know, this is where it's at, man. You know, we monetize over. We working on getting it up, man. What's up?
Yes, come to YouTube, the Soapbox Heroes channel on YouTube. It was nice, the Facebooks, but we gotta go.
Hey, Betty Boo, what's the deal? I love that cartoon.
All right, yeah. So we back over here. I have forgot, Duke. Sometimes I'll try to simulcast and go on both at the same time, but once you add somebody, you can only do one, and it's better for me to do YouTube because the
Right.
application that I do Facebook with drag down the computer anyway. So
Right.
yeah, we
But
back.
yeah, you know, it's just humanistic politics, man. You know, a lot of people wish that they was his woman in that position. You know what I'm saying? For all that time that he was there. You know what I mean? They wish that they was able to, you know, be a part of the fruits of his labor. But now it's like, okay, well, this is the subconscious. This is the programming. When a melanated individual, you know, comes to a downfall, it's like, okay, well, it's like a welcoming party now. You know what I'm saying? Like, welcome back to the bottom. You know what I'm saying? You thought you was, we ain't hear you speak on, and for one, you got to understand this. Steve Harvey has not spoke on the real issues, man. You feel me?
He's not going to. Steve Harvey has made it clear that, you know, that's not what he's going to do, that he's not going to speak on the real issues. Steve Harvey is about going after that money, and the pursuit of it will make him put like what a lot of people would say, put his soul to the side. You heard what he said, Monique. He was basically saying, don't have integrity, give up your integrity, you know, because we playing the money game. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You know, when a woman look at you, how Monique looked at him, you know, every man done seen that look before. With the chin all the way up. You know what I'm saying? And she looking at him like, boy, is you crazy if you lost your cotton picking man? So you mean to tell me it's money over everything instead of, you know, us? You ain't even thinking about me in this situation because I've been working hard. You don't see me getting on television shows. You don't see me getting no pilots or no sitcoms. And you really, is for the industry like that, Steve?
Right. And a lot of it is because Monique got integrity. If you go back and here, we'll get off track. We'll talk about this for a little while. You remember when Monique came out and she was talking about how like even Netflix wasn't giving her what she was worth, and how she was talking about how other gatekeepers and things of that nature, you know, were like just keeping her locked out because she would speak the truth. It was a lot of people who didn't agree with Monique. And again, Steve Harvey being one of them. But now, have you noticed that the tide has kind of changed? And that's going back to the question of is why are people so mad at Steve Harvey or celebrating his downfall? I think people are celebrating it now because it's like, ha, told you so. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, people kind of change their message too. 3T's, what's going on with you? Oh, yeah, we got Def the Cloud Chaser over here. What's up, Def?
Hey, Def, what's up, man?
You dig? But yeah, you guys, so here, let me bring the screen back up, Duke, and we'll read some more of the people's comments and see what they got to say. See what some of the people got to say. And again, the question is, why are people celebrating the downfall of Steve Harvey?
Man, you know that this is just a mandatory event, man. You know, this is how it goes. You know what I mean? We've been trained this way from the Willie Lynch to the Jim Crow to the, you know, all the 400 years. We've been trained this way.
Yeah. And we've been trained in both directions because Steve Harvey has been trained. A lot of people have been trained to react like Steve Harvey, you know, like I got mine, you know, get yours. I'm not worried about you, you know, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to keep this, even if it's throwing my people or the people who adore me under a bus. You know what I'm saying? I think both behaviors have been taught. And here, let me get back to it. Jay Womack said, one of my good friends and her husband work with him, and he look out for people on the regular. He seems open to helping people who are really grinding. Okay. And you see what I'm saying, Duke? When we do this, you get all kind of different answers. You see what I'm saying? It's not monolithic. Like I said, there's a lot of people on here who say they don't like him because he's a jerk. And there's other people saying that he's cool. And the next guy, L. Martin, says, I have also heard the opposite about him. You see what I'm saying?
I do not like it. The reason why I don't like it is because how can we progress when people don't understand that the mentality of so-called African Americans is to bring us down? You know what I'm saying? Even when we fall, even when we going up, there's not a system in place or a psychological system in place of rehabilitation for that mentality. You feel what I'm saying? Because a lot of us don't even think that we can achieve what Steve and his woman did. You know how many women sit up and want to be a part of something like that?
Right.
And say that they married Steve Harvey and will never achieve that because it's not set up that way.
Right. I'm sure there's a lot of women and there's a lot of people who have that mentality of what is it? I wouldn't say strife, but maybe jealousy. You see what I'm saying? But I don't know. I think, envy. But I think that goes across every racial and ethnic scale, because people of every race are envious and jealous. I think sometimes we notice it more because we do see what happens amongst Black people by being Black and communicating with Black people and this or that nature. But I do think jealousy and envy run rampant with everybody, man, from what I've noticed. People
No, because I can tell you like this.
Mm-hmm.
If you get with a Caucasian,
okay,
or an Indian or Hispanic,
okay,
they understand your worth. They understand, like, you know what I mean, you are a hot commodity if you have copper tone, brown skin, or you're considered an African American, and they cherish that. All the other races of women, they put you as priority before everything. So when it comes, I promise you, man, this is all experience. This is all analytics, stats, consensus. Other races of women, they see it totally different because they still have a traditional base, a traditional foundation.
I hear you about the traditional foundation and the traditional base. And I do hear that a lot, that women of other cultures treat men different just because of their cultural upbringing and the things that are still inside of them. I was just talking about just like some of the internal feelings, the humanistic feelings of jealousy and envy, because that's all I was talking about, because I see jealous and envious people of all races. I done ran into some jealous and envious white people and Asians and Blacks and Cambodians.
Well, you know, white people's jealousy ain't the same. It ain't like everybody else's jealousy, because they don't get jealous if it ain't the same. You know what I mean? Like they be on some like
we'll destroy your whole town.
So you want to do stock exchange now? Oh, you want to do international commerce now? Oh, you corporate now? I've been doing this for so long, and now you all of a sudden get in here because you made one dance song. Oh, just like the cat with the Wranglers, Lil Nas X. You know how many Caucasian people were so upset? I've been wearing Wranglers all my life. We built y'all, and you mean to tell me you gonna get this little Pickaninny a deal?
Hey, so look, that was I heard a little bit about that. What happened? He made a country song, right?
Exactly.
And they wouldn't give him his credits as a country singer or something like that. And
no,
then
not on that fact. It's just like, oh, so now you got him wearing our jeans now?
Okay, so since he started wearing Wranglers, white people got mad.
Of course they did, because they like, okay, so now you give them the industry, now you give them Bugattis, you give them BMWs. Okay, what? You give them Gucci, you give them Louis, you give them Prada and Coach. Oh, now you gonna give them Wranglers? Next, he gonna be headlining at the GMT Awards.
Yeah. Well, I thought about that often, and sometimes I do think that they have a fear of retaliation. You know what I mean? Like, that's the ultimate fear, is retaliation. I think they feel like if Black people were to take over and witness some type of actual success and confidence and actually like swing the pendulum, I think they feel like, well, they're gonna do to us what we've done to them all these years. What you think about that?
No, hell no. That ain't even
No?
their fear. Their fear is that most of them are going to convert. They're going to convert to pro melanatedism. You know what I'm saying? Because you check this out. It's a massive rate of Caucasians joining Islam, right? It's a
Right.
massive rate of Caucasian women dating and marrying black men. You feel what I'm talking about? If you go back in the history and you look at what how monogamy started, they started monogamy by delegating how African American men or colored men who they could marry. That's how monogamy started. You feel what I'm talking about? Okay, everybody else can marry any woman they want, but you darkies, you cannot marry Caucasian women. That's how it started.
Yeah, but there's a lot of cultures, Duke, that keep homogenous. They try to keep their race homogenous. Like, look at Asians all over Asia. They don't let them, like a Chinese person, they won't let their kids marry nobody but another Chinese person.
And that's preservation. But like them, it's seven. Look, the last time I checked, the consensus of people on the planet, it was 7.4 billion plus. Now it's 7.6 billion plus. Do you know that the Oriental community has the majority of people, like a high percentage of the people on the planet?
Yeah, and so in India, right? Isn't it Asia and India?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Asia,
they have a high concentration.
Yeah.
In Asia, don't they limit how many children you can have in certain parts of Asia?
Exactly. So if they limit in how many children you can have, you better be sure they're gonna limit who you can be having
who you can procreate with, right?
Exactly.
Right. Okay, and so you think that's why they doing it now is here in America is because they want to they have a fear of their race or their gene pool being wiped out, and they want to keep it as homogenous as possible.
And they're the only ones that's been that successful in doing it, because you can't. I don't care what nobody says. When you see an Asian family, you see an Asian family the majority of the time. Any other race, you might see a black with a Mexican, a white with a black, a Mexican with a white, but an Asian, oh man, that's like on some. If you see another race, chilling with an Asian on some, it's probably about some music or some art. But in relationship wise, oh man, that's not common. It's not a common thing.
No, not at all. That is, I'll be honest, that's not something that you see a lot. That's not something that I've witnessed to where I could just think in my head real quick. The only person I could think of is like Montel Williams and Connie Chung type. You know what I'm saying?
Or Kimora Lee Simmons. Like when you seen that, what did she do? She left Russell Simmons and went right to a Caucasian. She can't go back to her. Man,
no, I think Kimora married another brother after that. The guy from
she did.
Yeah, he was in the movie. I think so. I think so, dude.
I don't know. The last thing I seen was she married a Caucasian, just like Mariah Carey did, because that's just how it is. When you get up there, you know what I mean, the proper weight, that's why people get all up in arms about, so-called. And I say the reason why I say so-called is because it is a surname. It is a so-called name. When I say so-called black people, we are not really black. If you look at his hair is blacker than the skin is. You feel me? So
right.
But anyway.
Right.
The thing is, man,
her husband's name is Tim Lessner.
Oh, so that's a black
man. Nah, you ain't like, man. You on top of it. I had no
told you, man. I keep my ears to the
news you could use with Duke.
For real. I'll be on some real, like, you know what I'm saying? Look at look at Eve. Eve got a white dude.
Yeah, look, Prince.
And Eve was a Rough Rider.
Prince Hayes says Kimora is black and Asian, isn't she?
Hey, but she still got it in her though.
Yeah, I thought Kimora, I thought she dated a brother or something. He was in one of them movies. Bald dude. Well.
Nah, man. Look, let me tell you like this. The so-called African American individual is a hot commodity. It doesn't matter because we have the strongest genes, strongest molecular structure, and all of that. That's just how it goes.
Well,
now they might not see us as a big financial gain unless we got some real monies. But the feeling, the understanding, the cultural background of us, they just know when their kids come out, they're either gonna be good basketball players, volleyball players.
well, yeah, they know our worth when it comes to
Exactly.
To the monetary value, long as the monetary value is going to anybody else but us. You've seen
Exactly.
every other culture from every other place come and literally appropriate our culture in one way or another to bolster their financial wealth, but they still don't respect us though, Duke.
But this okay, so
take
do
the
you know
money
what that is?
and
Okay,
then
do
look,
you know
and
what
then they be
that
afraid that we gonna retaliate back. What? Go ahead.
Okay,
What
do
is
you
it?
know what that is then? Do you understand what that is? Do you know how long the European society had pets and slaves, and it's still the same mentality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's still the same mentality.
There's countries that have slaves now,
That's
today.
what I'm saying. It's just like these women that, hey y'all, I'm pretty kinky. This is a Pharaoh fact. I like looking at everything. It's a Pharaoh fact. So I be watching these women. I don't never see no colored skinned women doing no shit like this. These fair skinned women, they like having sex with animals, right? So they keep them as pets, but they still, it baffles me because I'm like, what? Like, what is the, okay, but we know about bestiality.
Bestiality. Yeah, that's what
It's a thing, but only they do it.
Yeah, I don't know anybody who do it, but I'm gonna take that Pharaoh fact. I'm gonna just take that one and run with it. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to try to quantify it. You know what I'm saying?
You can't, because look,
look,
man, if you're not a person that wants to know everything about everything and understand everything, you know what I'm saying? In its true nature and true form, its totality, its psyche and everything. You gotta know, man, like if you don't realize when you go into the European world, they're still gonna have a disdain for you in the back of what is this? Their occipital lobe. And they occipital lobe, they in the back of their occipital lobe, that's right here on the back of your head.
Right.
It's right here, where their consciousness is at. They're still going to have a disdain for you because that's just in their DNA. It's just how it is. It doesn't matter how much they try to, clean it up. It's still in there because when you look at the color of our skin, it looks like dirt. When you look at the history of our men and of our people, it resembles brutality, thuggery, and all this other stuff. That's the picture that's been painted. So it's going to take another 400 years to get over that.
All right, so look, let me ask you, why are they painting that picture? And see, and that's my point, is because they want to keep people in fear of us. And long as somebody is in fear, they're always going to try to hoard and ward over you because they're scared. And my thing is, I think they feel a sense of like retaliation, like, oh, well, maybe they'll retaliate.
I'm gonna give it to you now. I'm gonna give you retaliation now because you done said it 3 times. So guess what? I'm gonna give it to you. Look, we give it. So we finna give it to him. Tyrone, you got it.
Give it to me.
It's a fear or it's an expectancy of retaliation.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when they compile these gang police or these Secret Service agents to go in the neighborhoods and take out the leader, it'll spook everybody else. That's just like in slavery days. They used to sodomize the men.
Yeah, they'll break the buck. Yeah, buck breaking. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So that came from Willie Lynch. You know what I'm talking about? That came from the whole Jim Crow effect. So when you think about it, just like they uprooting all these statues of Columbus and all of these Confederates and everything, they're like, okay, you know what? If we do not hear what's going on, it's gonna be like an iRobot, the chosen one saying something and everybody rally, just like on the Bugs Life when the grasshopper said, you know what? 1 acorn, how does that feel? And then he let out all the acorns. If you let one have a voice, if you let one come into consciousness or gain like what's really going on, they all gonna rise up. So all of this is control.
Right. And so they don't want the rise though. Do you think that they will want to rise?
Hell no, they don't want it. Do you know what the majority numbers is, the Europeans right now on the planet?
What?
It's 7.6 billion plus people right now, right?
Right.
The European society is about 2-3 billion.
So, oh yeah. Well, I know globally, Europeans aren't the majority that melanated people are globally, but
America. If we talk about America, they make up like a quarter of the people over here.
Yeah, well, in America, yeah, they make up the majority in America, but that's America.
No, they don't. No, they don't make up the majority. They make up the minority here. It's a quarter to a whole.
I thought it was by like 2026 or something.
No. Hey, hold on. Let me go get the facts real quick. Let me get the real facts, and you gonna continue. I'm gonna show you how many people on a consensus level, how many Europeans, white people, is it to other races over here? Our country's been made up of so many other people.
Yeah, I know. America that's why they call it a melting pot or something like that.
You're right.
Here, let's see. We could just do it together. Let me open something up real quick.
Yeah, don't pull it up and do it, man.
Yeah, we could just do it together. News you can use. Oh man, daytime edition. All right, here I'm gonna open it up and then we're gonna see. Betty Boo said Europeans don't like any Americans. Gregory Hayes says white people are 60% of the population. 3 T's. Thanks, Tyrone. Thank you, 3 T's. Moderator gang out there. Yeah. Kimura is Black and Asian. Betty Boo says, yes, she did date an African actor named Simon Digimon or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, she dated an African, but you're right, she did end up marrying a white guy.
What it say right there? Who is that in the green?
Betty Boo?
No, I'm talking about on the
okay.
chart.
Oh, here, let me open it up and make it a little bit bigger. Make it bigger. White non-Hispanics are 64% of the country. You see what I mean? In the United States, they are 64%. And then look, Hispanics are 16%, Blacks are 12%, Asians are 5%, and other is 3%. I guess other would be what? Pacific Islander and
all that.
Yeah. So according to this, it says America is majority white, but right now, 64%. If the rest of these populations are growing, it won't be too long until that chart is split down the middle.
Let me tell you something. Whatever is right, that was in 2010. 2017.
Yeah, that's the 2010 census consensus.
So ever since the influctuation of Hispanics from south of the border, from people fleeing these countries where it's murder, death, this and that, slavery. Do you know how many people? See, I'm talking about what's current. The minority, the colors outweigh them right now. Why do you think they building a goddamn wall?
Preservation. But look, I think we agree, and I'm saying the same thing. They want to preserve. It's preservation. They want to preserve their race. But look, at the same time, look, we got this chart right here.
What is that?
But I also need to go back and check the source.
No, there you go. It's a blue. Of course they're gonna present themselves as dominant, cuz. Of course they are. You can't that's listen.
But look,
who's not gonna make the number say that there are more Europeans over here in this country, guys.
But
If
look,
they rule the country.
I hear you, but look at this chart. It also illustrates what the fear might be. Also going into what we're both saying. Look,
Yeah, right.
look, in 1980, 80%, right? In the year 2000, 72%. In the year 2020, 64%.
Okay, so look, you remember the Caucasian lady who was talking about what the map of the world actually looks like?
Yeah. How the map.
Okay, do you remember how she talks
Africa's
about?
a lot bigger.
That's what I'm saying. So if you think about this, they have always been manipulating the facts. They control the facts, man. U.S. history. You go through U.S. history. Do they talk about Mansa Musa in world geography or U.S. history?
No, why would they do a thing like that?
Okay, then. So why would they portray that they are not the minority?
Right. Well, see, look, let's see right here. And then so in 1950, what are they portraying right here? Nah, no way. They're saying 1950 that. Well, no, it's the opposite. In 1950, they saying whites will only be 52%, and they're 64% now. So, but it's a slow dwindling, and especially for people who think in the future. If you think in terms of hundreds of years instead of tens of years, and then I mean, I understand. I can see why we need the wall. Nobody can come in. We only want you if you from Scandinavia, Sweden, or the Netherlands.
Okay. So here's the question: what do they base their consensus off of?
People
that are living from birth certificate to obituary, or people that actually sign into the consensus?
I think it's people who sign into the consensus. Let's look at that.
So how many colored people like signing paperwork, like showing up to court, like showing up to this and that, and putting man, come on, man. They put them numbers out there for law-abiding citizens, people who uphold the Constitution that adheres to them.
Yeah, they get that. They talk to people who gonna answer the door, answer the question. Because I know a lot of people, they gonna look out their blinds and be like, "Who you want? He ain't here." You know?
and how many times have we known in the course of the elections in the history that they've used voting registration as a consensus?
As the voting registration as a consensus? Yeah, they do use the voting. Well, here, let me see. Let's see.
Let's just see how many. Let's see how many races registered to vote.
Yeah,
from the beginning of the vote. This is news y'all can use, man.
Yeah, and then a lot of times when they count the numbers, even when they say the numbers are like immigrants and stuff, I'll be like, how can you count somebody who you don't know, who you can't get an accounting of? That's a guess.
You don't even consider American. They only count Americans.
They count people they could get a hold of on landline phones.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Look, it says, all right, reference. How often is federal consensus taken? So this is how often. We'll find how often, and then we'll find the process. There are 3 different federal consensus taken at intervals of 5 and 10 years. The population of housing consensus is taken once every 10 years. The economic and consensus of government are taken every 5 years. But besides those 3 consensus, these census bureaus also gather data using the American Community Survey, which is compiled annually. Other surveys and the economic indicators are also the responsibility of the Consensus Bureau. The data gathered by the Consensus Bureau serves several purposes. The data help to determine how certain federal funds are distributed. It also helps to determine how many seats each state gets in the United States House of Representatives and determines what government services are needed in specific areas. So that's how they figuring out how many representatives you get off of these consensus too, and how much money you gonna get in your area.
I'm telling you, bro. Like, you look, how can you say it's 63% non-whites and 76 or 70-something% whites? That don't even make no sense. because the scale goes to 100, right?
Right.
So how can you put this on the end? That's why when you see them and you go to places, you look at sporting events, you look at how can you say that? It's not factual, man. Them numbers don't add up, especially when they're doing the consensus every 10 years, every so often, annually, and this and that. They're not putting the exact numbers down, and they better not put the right numbers down, because if they did, then everybody would know that they are the minority.
So you say they already the minority. That's why you think so, dude? I don't know, man. Look, when
we got the
you
Splash,
look,
cuz.
Have you ever been to Utah?
That's only one state. That's only one state.
No, Montana. When you go a lot
okay,
of the Midwest,
okay,
even
okay.
you
Since
from
you
the
want to do
D,
that,
I'm here in Houston. Even with most of the states besides these two, go ahead.
Tyrone, since you want to do that, do you know how many people come into this country and they're not even documented?
A bunch, a lot, all the time.
Constantly. Okay, then so how can we say that the numbers is correct? And there's people that don't even get no social security numbers. They don't get no IDs. They don't get nothing.
I definitely don't think that them numbers are correct, especially like when you talk about like immigration or the illegal immigration. I think them numbers are skewed. Like I said a minute ago, how can you count somebody that you don't know is here? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you quantify that? How can you put a quantifiable number on the numbers of somebody that's illegal? That's like if somebody is just like stealing French fries out the freezer. You know what I'm saying? How do you count exactly how many French fries they've stolen over a year?
Exactly.
Like, how do you count that? That's a guess. Well, I think they stole about 20,000 French fries.
Exactly, man. Exactly. So, like I say, even Silly the Squid, he said on $1 million worth of game, he said, man, don't believe 75% of what you hear, and only believe only 25% of what you hear. So if they say that 9/11 was done by Al
Qaeda, look into it further.
How the hell did the damn bombs, how did all these bombs go off simultaneously before the wreckage even hit these bombs? How the hell did all these people die? You know what I'm talking about? And how did them towers even fall when there are people out there with educated opinions and built these things, built these rebars and built all this stuff, and knowing that they could have withstood a whole meteor shower?
Yeah, and they were also talking about how the metal was melting too fast and the steel was melting, and
the only way that you can cut that type of steel is with molten metal, with sulfuric acid and so forth. That's the only way that you can cut through it. You can't just cut through it with a butter knife. You can't just cut through it with a sawzall. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. You have to turn it up to like past jet fuel degrees.
Right. Yeah, they said that the engine fuel or that fire wouldn't have been hot enough. And then I remember seeing stuff like this where they were talking about the Pentagon, and they were saying like, how is that it would have been a lot bigger impact than just right there, that it looks like a bomb.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm talking about? Regular people, regular disaster. Okay, well, check this out. If a plane crashed into that, how come some of those people over there at the Pentagon ain't got some of the same diseases and stuff going on in what you call it? Oh, because the plume, because of the chemicals from all of the reaction of the molten metal and all of the stuff that they shut the elevators down maybe months or so before that even happened. How are you gonna say all of that when you employed Al Qaeda? Man, you got people working from Al Qaeda, and your Bin Laden's working for y'all. You train them. How you gonna find a passport of full look?
Then they flew his family out when airspace was closed. And then look right here. This is what I remember, because I remember hearing these different arguments and the different debates on what happened, and people were saying like right here, the wings would have knocked out some of that cement structure on this building, and like it just looks too perfectly clean. How come the wings, you know what I mean, even if the wings came off during the impact, it would have caused some type of damage during
Why was there
that
no
structure.
pictures of the wreckage? You know how many planes crash and they take a picture of all the debris?
Oh, right away. They'll get out there and they'll be like, here goes a picture of the debris. They always do that. And look, I agree with you that I mean, history does tell us that they always control history to look more in favor of their narrative, or look more in favor of their dominance and diminish our dominance. It's just something that's just what they do. I just know in America though, I don't think that it's possible to count the number of immigrants or illegal immigrants. I think that they vastly understate that on purpose. And I do think that, but man, when you go for flyover country, it's a lot of Caucasians in America. It's a lot. Black people are on the coast,
that's what they
and in the South.
That's
No, I went to
That's
college.
what they televise.
Man, look, I went to college in Logan, Utah. It would be times I'd be the only black person for miles, man. I'm telling you.
Man,
In a lot of these states, Arizona.
That ain't in every state. That's not in every state, cuz.
Yeah, it's not in the big ones, but look, in Texas, all right. You think it's more black people than white people in Texas?
No, it's more everybody else than them. I can say that hands down.
Okay. Okay. You're talking about everybody all together.
Yes, I'm talking about everybody all together.
Okay, you're on to something. You on to
something.
something.
I'm talking about there are more colored people than there are Caucasians in America, and that is fact.
You got me thinking. Duke.
That's all I've been saying this whole time, cuz.
News you can use with Duke Pharaoh. You got me thinking.
Do you think? Heck no, black people don't outnumber Caucasians on this planet. You want to know why? Because they've been lynching us. They've been putting us in these jails. They've been putting sickle cell, anemia, AIDS, and all this other stuff. We will never outnumber them in this country until we rise up, and that's just what that is.
Well, in this country, the thing they did that was the most successful for the genocide of us is make us hate each other.
Asians are not white. You cannot, no, Asians are not white. No.
Somebody said Asians are whites?
No, I'm looking at the comments. Asians are not white.
Oh, Greg, Prince say Asians are whites, Hispanics are too. Look, but on the consensus, they can claim to be white on the consensus. In fact, a lot of people from Mexico, claim white on consensus. Yes, they do.
You see that in?
Watch, I'll show you. Look.
I'm claiming white next time I do it then.
Yeah! Oh man, I don't know if you can. They're gonna be like, well, you got too much bass in your voice.
Yeah, I'm bleaching my skin then.
Why would you want to be white on a consensus?
Just to see what it feels like. I already got a slave name. My first name is Jeremy. My last name is Martin. I already got a slave name, so why not?
Hey, my name is Tyrone, and people always say be like, oh, that's a black name, and my last name is Irvin. But neither one of them are really black names. I ended up finding out it was Irish. Yeah. My dad.
Go ahead.
I was saying my dad a long time ago was like, if you ever meet a white guy named Tyrone, I give you $100. And this is when I was a little kid, you dig? And then he owed me. I need that 100.
No, for real.
Look, hold on. News you could use. Let's see. Let's pop over here. Hey, Duke, I like this. We discovering things today.
That's what it's all about. It's all about, gaining and learning, man.
Digging and fact finding. All right, let's see what that say right there. Prince, Gregory Hayes with the score.
And what year was this when they started doing this?
It's been a while.
So 2016. Okay, so now we finna have And this was why Trump was president, right?
I do think that's
Okay,
no,
then. Okay,
no,
then.
no, no,
So
no, 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 no. I think this happened before Trump.
that's 2016, okay?
I know it's 2016, but that
4
was
years. Only got 4 years, so he came
yeah,
in
no,
2016, right?
yeah, that's when this is written. But I think it was happening before Trump. Yeah, I think
Man,
I don't want to be exact, but we're gonna find out. But
no, we finna find out.
but I do think that it was happening pre-Trump.
Listen here, man. They got they have an Oriental politician running for president 2020.
Mm-hmm.
He just went over there to Kim Jong, made a peace treaty, right? Or tried to. So
he tried to.
They're fairly close in skin tone. So why wouldn't it be like a mandate? Okay, well, look, man, we got foreign exchange, we got this and this. How about, hey, when y'all come over here and you say your name, or you put your class, it's a classification. White is a classification, black is a classification.
Yeah.
Because they don't on the most consensus, they don't just say it ain't just African American, they put black. It's a classification. Mm-hmm. I want to sue America for classifying me as a color that don't define me. I was just scrolling through Facebook and this little white kid, he was trying to sue his dad.
Yeah.
For making him
white. White. Was that real?
Why wouldn't it be?
Because I didn't really get to look into it, but a lot of these stories you see be quick. We're going to have to look at that one too. We're going to have to look at
look, man, how come? That's public slander. Am I right or wrong?
Yes.
If I can't get no look,
in a time period of bullying, I can say you're bullying me by calling me a color.
Okay. So what's that? So this is what I'm saying. If black, the term black is a degradative term, 3/4 of a human, and we passed emancipation, and we're here now. And when I put on the application that I am black or African American, and that cuts the percentage of me getting a job, you slandering me.
You're definitely slandering me, and
you defamating my character,
and you bullying me out of my buddy. Look, all right, Duke, right here. As of 2010, 50.5 million or 16.3% of Americans identified as Hispanic or Latino. Of those, 26.7 million or 53% also self-identified as white. And that was in 2010. You see what I'm saying?
What does that tell you? What does that tell you?
That the white people are using other people to boost their numbers.
Hold on, listen. Okay, so we already understood that there's 64% Caucasians in America, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to know how they got that?
Because they had to add the Latinos.
Okay.
And the Asians.
Look, now we got the right numbers. We got the real news you can use, man.
The real news.
Now we see why it seems like it's more Caucasians, because you got the light-skinned other colored people claiming to be Caucasian. So we know why it seemed like it's more Caucasians here, because
they're adding to it.
The lighter hue of people, they got a mandate and they got a goddamn grant or loan plan, and they was like, hey, just claim Caucasian, and you good. Come on, man.
Oh man.
So we discovered why it seems like it's more Caucasians, because they've allowed Europe, Asiatic people and Latinos to claim that they are Caucasian American, because if you go to some countries, a lot of Hispanics or Dominicans, they got blonde hair and blue eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And white skin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go to Argentina. Argentina is full of Latin people.
Yeah.
But they look just like that white dude right there, and the one with the beard.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Hey, this is real.
It's real, bro. This is real.
17-year-old teenager sues his parents for being born white.
It's real. It's real. It's real.
What is he suing for? Like, this privilege. I don't want this privilege anymore. Like, look, that's even the privilege. He's
That's
suing.
that fear. That's that fear.
But
That's that fear.
he has the privilege of being able to sue because he's
That's what I'm saying. That's that fear. That's that fear of knowing that he was born to two Caucasian Americans.
Yeah,
and
Prince.
now he's on some, man, you know what I have to go through? People think that biracial children got to go through stuff. You know how many biracial children and so-called African Americans and other brown skin colored people is on this planet, and the European born Americans here, you know what they got to go through? They got to go through race appropriation. They got to go through all of that. They really got it harder than everybody because they either got to try to fit in or they have to try to understand.
Yeah. Hey, we're gonna have somebody hop on. Gregory Hayes in the comments said, "Can I hop on?"
Come on in there, man.
Yeah, let me get the yeah. But hey, man, 17-year-old undertaking. Wait, I gotta come on, man.
That ain't the first time I seen that too. It was a female who did that too before.
Have any black kids done this before that you know of? Like sue their parents?
I want to be the first. I want to be the first African.
Well, since people were
American to do it.
Well, can I sue America for like you said,
because they are
calling me black?
They are a whole business entity. We can sue them for slander.
Salik, can we sue them for calling us black?
Man, our straw man,
Professor,
our social security number, our entity number, our birth certificate numbers. You dig what I'm talking about? We are able, if we look at the hue of our skin and we match it to a color chart at Home Depot, I guarantee you,
we're not black. No, and you're not only are you defaming my character, you're bullying me by calling me a name or something that I'm not. That'd be like you calling me a seal. I'm not a seal, nor is my skin literally black. So
that's what I'm saying. So
I'm upset, and I need my reparations.
Residuals and royalties.
Residuals and royalties. Oh man. I'm sending you the link right now, Prince. Go ahead,
That's what I'm saying. How you gonna promise us 40 acres and a mule, and it ain't even enough land? When Jefferson purchased the Louisiana Purchase, he purchased like 15 states for like 15 million, $1 million a piece.
Right.
Ain't enough land. The government own most of the land.
Right.
So how can you offer us 40 acres and a mule, and that don't even exist?
Right. I wouldn't even want a mule. You know why? No, you know why they give you a mule? Because a mule can't reproduce.
That's what I'm saying. So you got to give me a Clydesdale, the one that's on the Budweiser commercial, so like I can really get a return.
I need 2 donkeys or something, however it go. But I know a mule can't produce. Prince, send me your email real quick. Text me your email and Facebook Messenger because Facebook won't let me send you the link through Messenger. They done put me on. Somebody be reporting me, I think, Duke.
Because they already know, man, you're the soapbox, man. You know what I mean? When you really trying to proclaim something, a lot of people do it from the soapbox. So they don't really like that, man.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It happens. Like I think it happens. So yeah, Prince, send me your email so I can send you the link because they're okay. I got it.
We talking about facts. You see what the facts we done uncovered. 2010, they start saying that everybody else can be white if they want to. Is you kidding me? And so now the most current consensus is that there is a majority of Caucasian Americans in this country. Man, get out of here, man. That's why I knew it was a lie. I'm glad you uncovered it because that's a whole fucking lie.
Sooner or later, they might start accepting you if you black and light enough. Like,
I'll tell you, shit, you got your Uncle Tom card. Yeah, right? You got your Uncle Tom card, you're gonna be considered European.
I don't know. You gotta. I think you still might have to have a certain look.
Man, screw all that, man. All you need to do is opt in, and you in. Opt in to the rigorousness of their bidding will, and you good. Tell about the gun line, boss.
Hey, I want to look a little bit at that 17-year-old that sued his folks, man.
That's what I'm saying. Look at him. He looking like, man, I'm dead set. How you get the one girl, the Caucasian girl rapper who talking about I'm not white, I'm black.
Oh wow, look at this. Okay. Here, I will read the whole headline. St. Louis, Missouri, a 17-year-old is undertaking one of the most controversial lawsuits of the history of the county. Of the country, as he tries suing his own biological parents for being born white. And then look, the byline says, when I was a kid, I'd spend hours in the shower trying to wash the white off my skin, but it would never go away, he recalls painfully. Oh. Oh boy, I'm perplexed right now.
Now, do you know what that comes from? He probably heard his parents and his family members say some degrading stuff about other races, and he was so disgusted and so appalled and was like, nah, I can't be white because this ain't right. We going to Congress. We going to the Senate. We going all the way to the Supreme Court with this one. And look at his dad sitting over there looking like a baked
look, he says, isn't there enough white people on this earth already? Look, then he say, haven't we inflicted enough suffering, racism, and oppression in this world? He asked reporters.
I told you.
Oh, he told you that
was the aim. I told you that was the aim. You know what I'm saying? He feeling guilty, just like he was talking about that people hesitant or they fearing retaliation. He don't want to be considered white if he already know what's gonna happen. Man, you know how many Caucasian Americans feel like that 17-year-old?
Yeah. I'm gonna send it again right now, Prince. Yeah, but look, and then his parents say that they were completely shocked. How are they always surprised at everything? Like, do they not live with their kids? Sometimes I'll be wondering, like, do you live with your child? How are you surprised? If he in the shower trying to wash the white off his skin, how is anything subsequently happening after gonna surprise you? You believe they was really surprised?
Shocked is a Caucasian word, man. I ain't never heard nobody. I ain't never really just heard like it be common in the, most. Yeah, I ain't never really just heard that word just throughout my community. You know what I'm saying? That's a Caucasian word.
Yeah. I'm so confused. The young man's lawyer, Robert Huffman, claims his client has suffered severe psychological distress, symptoms of depression or suicidal tendencies because of what he called the burden of white privilege.
He has a case. This is a case. This is an authentic case due to the habeas corpus, due to the, all the literal terms and all the paperwork and the judicial system and the court system. He has an actual case. He has probable cause to say everything he's saying because he already know the turn of the times is coming. They already lying about their consensus.
Yeah, they lying about their consensus, but man, I didn't know people were suing for white privilege. I'm almost at a loss of words right now.
Man, do you know how many Caucasian Americans go around with Black Lives Matter sign?
Yeah, and look, and then you have your Rachel Dolezals and things like that. So, like you said, you think this is because he's heard some terrible things about Black people, or do you think that he might really just understand the plight and he's feel some type of shame, or do you think it's
he a whistleblower? He a whistleblower, man. He like, hey, man, they've been lying for years. Columbus ain't even step over here. He ain't discover America. Man, they killed millions of Indians with smallpox and some army made blankets.
Look, look, Christian Nuya says, so when he wins his case, will he not be white anymore?
He sure won't, because his classification, he gonna get him a whole new identity. Just like most of these women on black social media, when they come in and they get the whole spray tan, and you thinking it's a whole colored woman, it's a whole Caucasian. Like, y'all don't even understand. Like, this is they've embedded so much of our culture into them, the mentality and the psychology of people. That's just okay. Now let's really get deep. You ready, Tyrone?
I'm ready.
I think y'all need to call Tyrone.
Hey, he was the good guy in the song too. I think people don't realize that.
Exactly. So look, I'm calling you on this one, Tyrone.
All right, I'm here.
If a man can grow up and always knowed that him was a she, and we have to classify him as a she now, if a white dude say, I ain't white, it ain't right, I'm suing, we need to go and give it to him. We need to go and let him have it. Because if I can't be wrong in saying this, because if a man can genetically turn himself into a woman, he can be classified as a woman. If this 17-year-old is coming to the light and stepped into the light, then we gonna get to him.
Well, yeah. If what's was good for the goose is good for the gander. Okay. I hear what you said, because look, for a man could classify himself as a woman without changing anything except his mind. You see what I'm saying?
In his name.
I don't even know if they gotta change his name, Duke. I'm pretty sure
no.
He be a woman named Bruce.
He ain't gotta change. He can go down to the DMV and give me an F on my report card. That's all he gotta say. I want an F. I got titties, I got booty, I done cut my wee off and let go.
Oh man. Here, let me see. We got Prince in here. Wait, attendee.
We only do facts, man. We only do facts. News you can use.
Here, let me see who. Let me get Prince.
Make sure y'all hit the like button and the subscribe button if you're in here, man. It's 10 people in here. It should be 10 likes already.
All right, Prince, you in here. So whenever you're ready, yeah, you just gotta unmute yourself, because it's not letting me unmute you. So I think that means you muted yourself.
There we go.
All right, there we go. We can hear you. We can't see you, but I can hear you.
Oh, it's okay. I'm at the gym anyway.
You pumping up?
Yeah, you know.
What's good, Prince? What you thinking?
So I just was gonna we gotta go back a little bit. I know y'all kind of moved forward, but I was gonna say, so my whole point when I was saying that those people identify as white is because in their own countries, that's what it is. It has nothing to do with America. So, like, for an example, if you look at the power dynamics in a country like China, let's say, right? Mm-hmm. The pale Chinese people, you know, it's the same thing as they have a Eurocentric standard of beauty, right? Like even for Asians, it's the paler skin. You know what I'm saying? They want a certain body type. Like it's all Eurocentric because England controlled controlled China for 100 years. You know what I'm saying? You go to India, it's the same thing. It's the lighter. You know, you would think all Indians look like the lightest skin. You know what I'm saying? But we all know that like the majority of Indians look like us. You know, I work with Indians and Pakistanis or whatever, and they dark like me. So that's not that's not an American thing. That's a European thing, but it's not an American thing. And then you look at what the Chinese people are doing in Africa. They're doing the same thing the Europeans are doing in Africa. You see what I'm saying? Like, and then so that's why I said that they are white, because they think white, they act white, they do everything like Europeans. They hate niggas like white people. So therefore, to me, they white. That's how I look at it. Like,
okay, so Prince, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
I was just in LA, right? And I was at the hotel on the rooftop at the pool. And I turned over and I looked, and this lady looked Caucasian. But
Okay.
you want to know what she told me?
What?
She said she's African.
But you
Yeah.
could be both though, because Africa is just a continent and Caucasian
Okay,
is a race.
okay. If we wasn't born in Africa, why do they call us Africans then?
What they
Americans
call
then.
it? No. I'm not like
Yeah.
I'm here for. I totally agree. I'm not saying
No,
that.
I know.
And I get what
just
you're
want you
saying
to.
too.
I just want you to elaborate, because if it's a continental classification, then don't we need to change the classifications in this country? Because I'm not asking to create debate or argument. I just know that you got something to say.
Yeah. Well, I think I get what you're saying, Prince. In their own individual countries, they deal with colorism too on a whole. And in these
Yeah.
countries, the lighter you are, the more prestigious you are. Like in Asia, they sell bleaching products, and they do that. And the more affluent people are often the whiter of the people. But I think so I get what you're saying. But my point is white as they might feel they want to be, they're still technically not white. You see what I'm saying?
But that's not. But like dude said, it's a classification. It's not a real thing. Race isn't a real thing anyway.
Right.
So
They're not European. You see what I'm
No,
saying?
I know, because
that's what you're saying. That's what they're striving for, a Eurocentric thing of beauty or something for instance, the Europeans saying.
Well,
Okay.
I'm saying that they are, that for all intents and purposes, just so we could have an understanding, they're striving. That's where they're getting their direction from, right? It's from
Right.
Eurocentric point of view. I'm not saying though, like you could even get rid of that and just say Caucasian, whatever you want to call it. But it's just that frame, that white
frame of mind. Right.
Yeah, it's that white dominance. My skin is lighter. I'm fairer. Yada yada yada. My eyes are lighter. I have this recessive gene. My hair is straight. Whatever it is. That's what they want to put on a pedestal and tell us like that is what we need to be striving for, right? So you move to another place like Latin America, like he mentioned, Argentina. Argentina all but got rid of all their black people 80 years ago. Like literally, they were killing them, and they just fled and went to Brazil and went to all the surrounding Latin American countries. You go to a place like Mexico. Mexico just started recognizing black people. You see what I'm saying? In 2016, 2015, 16. So when these people come to America, they get a culture shock because they've been treated white their whole life. So they come here and then white Americans start spitting on them and they're like, wait a minute, I'm white.
Yeah.
Where I come from? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
then they end up identifying as white because that's what they are. And Asian people specifically, they are white. Like if you look at the money they make, they're not excluded from any major circles. They're everywhere. They on average they make more money than white people. An Asian man makes more money than a white man in this country per capita. You see what I'm saying? Like so I don't know what other proof you need. They white as fuck.
Okay, well
go ahead,
this is what I want to know. How much does it cost to get a classification change?
That's a good
right. And Prince, I agree with everything you're saying. I think there's just a little more to it. I agree. I do think where they come from, they do have like the Caucasian mentality that the lighter you are, the better you are. And in their countries, they feel like they're white. I think when they come to America, they see how other people are treated and they see how white people are treated. And that's all I think that's also part of the reason why on the consensus that you see people claim white, because there are Mexicans that I know or Hispanic people that I know that aren't fair skinned and they still claim white on their consensus. And it don't be because, so that's what I'm saying. I'm saying a lot of people also do it not only for the reasons that you stated, but for the little extra boost in being white in America.
I'm gonna tell you something, because my wife is white, right? So so my kids are mixed, whatever you want to call that, whatever that means. So the other day, my wife said that she had got a paper from the school, and it was something that had to do with race, and she said that she marked on the paper they were black. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, like I was like, why would you do that? You know what I'm saying?
You just messed up their whole school career.
Yeah, I was like, what are you doing? Like, and mind you, outside of some documentation shit, of course, I'm the blackest. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm black as a meridian. Like, I'm black as fuck. And I'm raising my kids black, and my kids are black. They never gonna be confused. But on a piece of paper that could potentially like get you an extra look or whatever the case may be, yeah, fuck it. Check that box. Check that box. Like, what are we doing? Like, I ain't too proud to do that for my kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, and mind you, that's not why I had mixed kids. So I don't want to get nobody to get confused. It just is what it is, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, why wouldn't I use that? Why, like, I wouldn't even, like, I don't understand that. So if you come to this country and they give you an option, they tell you, like, from everything you know about America, all you know is movies and TVs and blah, 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 blah. You see black people getting shitted on and yada, yada, yada. And they say, oh, you could check this box, or this white box. What the fuck you gonna check?
Right.
You gonna check the white box.
And that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I think a lot of them do it also not only because of the reasons you stated, which again I agree with fully. I just think it's that little extra. Like, wait a minute, they might send me some loan paperwork.
Yep. Hey, because they don't see you. Because they don't see your face, right? When you getting a loan, you ain't got a picture. So all they going off of is what your name and your ethnicity, right? And your zip code, right? Where you live at. You know what I'm saying? So if you're like my son name is Jackson Hayes.
Oh yeah. They don't know. Hey, Duke.
Yeah.
You think that she should have did the paperwork the other way?
Yeah, no, shit. Sometimes you gotta, hey, it's just like claiming extra kids.
If you can, you can.
I mean, you can do it. It ain't no real penalties. Why not?
Look, hey, you guys, I was looking at this, and we back on that. Prince, you heard about that? The 17-year-old kid in Missouri who's suing his kids because suing his parents for being born white. Look, his lawyers. This is what the said. It says, "My client did not choose to live this kind of life. Why would he have to carry the burden of hundreds of years of slavery and racism?"
That's what I said.
All because his parents had the selfish desire to bring another white child into this world, he told
Tyrone, read my comment. I said, what if he don't like white people? That's what I said. Believe it or not, that happens.
I don't think he does. If you listen, Duke, you think this guy like white people?
Hell no, he don't, because for anybody to do something against their own race like that, he got to know like y'all been bamboozling Americans, man. Y'all really been hurting people.
Wait a minute, hold on. Look, I scrolled down to the bottom and say, look, Anthony Dwight, who plans to change his name to Jamal Freeman.
There you go. Hallelujah.
Is asking his parents to pay for $20,000 skin color treatment. He needs
he lost me.
He lost me. Dark black. He reported. So he wanted his parents to pay $20,000 so he could change his color. But why he would look? But you see, he want to name it Freeman. So he want to be black, but he want to be a freedman. You see?
He want to be free. He want to be free from the
no. If he want to be black, he gotta fully be black. He gotta go back and deal with some stuff. But that's the thing. How you gonna be white your whole life, then decide you want to be black with none of the black consequences? It's consequences to being black.
But Tyrone, he asking for the consequences because he trying to darken his skin, so he want to get profiled. That's what I'm saying.
It's just like want to be a blood or a crip or be in a gang. He really want to be a part of this, man. He really about that gang.
Yep, I totally agree.
Yeah, man. He really want to do his road to Damascus. He really want to go through his pilgrimage. This is a rite of passage.
And so y'all think it's a good decision?
Yeah, I think it's a great decision.
I think it's a terrible decision for him.
Yeah, because just to see how it goes. You know what I mean?
All right.
I think it's funny for us, but I think it's a terrible decision for him personally. I think he should rethink that whole thing.
Experimentation
He should,
is great.
hey, Duke, he don't even gotta be black. He don't gotta darken his skin. All he needs to do really is get a black friend and go around town with him for a month or two and see what just sit close to him and just see what it feels like.
But you got to understand, he probably look at her. She done changed her skin and everything. He probably really want to go through the real experience. He want to see what it's like to fill out an application and know he can't get a job.
But that's
Yep.
yeah. So some people, you're right. Some people do like pain. It could possibly happen. But look, so is this almost the same as Rachel Dolezal? I don't think that she went through no skin changing thing, but she did pretend to be black for a long time. But at the same time, she was doing a lot of good stuff for black people. She was doing a lot of good stuff for black people that a lot of black people aren't doing.
Because she had to fit the mold to be able to get in, so she can use the news that she had for everybody else to use. You know what I'm talking about? Like you gotta be able to get in. If you ain't got your black card, you can't get in. So she had to make some modifications just so when they seen, because black people, they so-called black people, they really don't really look too deep into things if it's free.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something. I never had no problem with Rachel personally. I never understood the like beef, but I always thought it was funny. I always thought she was weird and all of that. But I never I couldn't be mad at her. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like I can't, the reason why is because the thing that I don't like about in the black community that we run into a lot of times, and we'll peep this, it's like you got real life devils out here, right, trying to actively destroy black people. You know what I'm saying? They're doing it every day. You see it every day. The police, the government, you got Trump, whoever, right? They out here just going against us hard, right? And then you get white people who they got it confused a little bit, but if you just look at their actions, you're like, they're not doing nothing bad, like you just said about Rachel. Like, she didn't do nothing bad. You know what I'm saying? It was weird, and she probably shouldn't have done it, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't like ill intent. Like she wasn't trying to kill us or destroy us or trick us to destroy us or do something bad to us, right? So, but we get into this thing where it's we chastise nobody is good enough, and we do it with black people too, like black leaders, like, oh, he ain't perfect, so let's tear him down. I'm like, dog, what do y'all want, man?
Prince, I think people with Rachel Dolezal, I think they got mad because she was pretending to be black when she could have done good things for black people as a white person. It's almost like, but at the same time, she's not doing nothing no different than a man who wake up and decide he want to identify as a woman. She decided she wanted to identify as something else, but I think people were mad because of the misconception. She said that her parents were black and her parents are white.
That was a lie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think maybe that's what people were saying. Like Shaun King. Shaun King is the same way. Shaun King did the same thing as Rachel Dolezal. But it's just like, well, what do they work say? But I think people get frustrated with the fact that they lie about, their background and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, so can I ask this question? Is it safe to say that Reverend Al Sharpton is a white dude?
I think you could say that, dude. I wouldn't argue with you.
Okay, cool. Then I just want to know because you know what I mean.
If you say that, I'm not gonna fight you. That's all I know.
He been a CIA operative.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
All right. Case in point right there. So you got somebody like that who a lot of black people will be like, he was down for the cause, and look at him back with Martin Luther King, whatever, right? And then you got somebody he was actually destroying black people though. Then you got Rachel Dolezal, where it's like, I mean, she lied, but everybody lied. You know what I'm saying? But what did she do really though? What did she do with her lie? Is what I'm trying to figure out.
Well,
I
think she was actually out there helping black people. Wasn't she the head of her chapter of the NAACP, and she had programs going and things like that nature? But look, hold on, I got something else for you. You guys know I'm gonna throw a twist in there. Look, Duke, look at your
oh man,
look at your boy. Look.
Who that?
Look. Hold on, P. You see?
Oh man, that boy done put the lace front on and the spray tan.
Did you guys hear about this one? He faked.
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, he faked black so he could get into med school on some affirmative action type of programs. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so he faked being black. So look,
Wow.
Hey, you know, but you know why he did that though? Like, okay, so if you're Asian American, which he is, right? And let's say his scores are high, like for the general public, but not for, you know, because he's competing really with other Asian Americans, because they're not going to let like every Asian American in, right? You know what I mean? Like they're going to let white people in and some black people and some Hispanics, right? So he probably didn't have a like high enough scores, a strong enough score to get in as an Asian American. So he was like, fuck it, I can get in as a black person, which is racist in itself, because he's like, y'all weak. Like, I'm better than y'all, but I'm not as good as these motherfuckers.
But look, this is the thing. When we look at the picture, and I think he's from India. Yeah,
yeah.
Well, he looked black already. So so when he shaved his head, was him acting black, or or the one on the left? Which one was he?
the one. Hey, the one on the left is him. Is him being Asian.
Indian.
The one, yeah, Indian. And the one on the right is him being black.
So the one with his haircut is him being black. So we're gonna call him Jamal with his haircut and DJ with his long hair.
And he messed up. And you know where he messed up at? He didn't get no edge up. If he would have got an edge up, he would have fell for it. But since he just cut it down, that one blade, no chemo. That's how they knew. He didn't get the edge. He played himself. That's what did it.
Oh my goodness.
He didn't get no edge.
No, Prince, he got it. And I think he didn't tell nobody till after he graduated. If I'm not mistaken.
Good for him. Good for him.
But he looks, see, this whole thing about, okay, like Duke said, black is not an actual, people are not black, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so, but if you categorizing his skin color, he's not too much lighter than me. You see what I'm saying? So
he my color.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. This whole thing is starting to get tricky.
But
we got Indians pretending to be black. We got white people that don't all the time. Us black people, we still here trying to figure this out.
But my point is though, in India, he's black. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, very much so.
He gets treated. Right. He's getting treated like a black person gets treated in America, especially in a system. Well, you know what I'm saying?
Don't it seem like he would get treated like a black person here in America too? That's what I'm saying.
Not with his hair, not with his real hair. Once you got that straight hair, they know. With the short hair and the edge up and some lines in it, and how depending on how you dress, you know what I'm saying. But if he out here dressed straight Punjabi, then you know, we'll know.
All right, what you say, Duke?
Exactly.
We know.
I'm just saying, man. So you guys are saying that my head is in the clouds, thinking that he would get treated the same as me because he's not too much lighter than me.
Yeah, he wouldn't get racially profiled like you or me or Duke.
No, because you got to understand facial recognition. You know what I mean? We
phenotype
in the back of our occipital lobe and our parietal occipital sulcus. You feel what I'm talking about? There's a part in our brain that has artificial intelligence. We are able to recognize facial features, frequency, sound, intent, body posture, body language, their whole psychology just based on how you move and how you look and how you talk. So if a Caucasian sees an Indian guy, he is not going to treat him like an African American simply because of the recognition of sound, pitch, tone, facial expression, all of that. It's just how it is.
To Duke's point, I would ask you this, and I haven't done the numbers on this, so I'm just asking. Let's look up how many police shootings involve Asian Americans.
No. One. Hey, no. Hey, Prince. Guess what?
Yeah.
Can we do police shootings based upon light-skinned black people, please? And after you,
we could do that too. We could do that. I bet you them numbers look crazy.
It won't be no stats on that.
No, it ain't gonna be no stats on that, but them numbers will look crazy. If they really did break that down, that would be a crazy stat. They don't want that out there. Ooh, I bet you it's like 5-1.
So dark skinned people is getting shot more than light skinned people, you guys think?
Man, absolutely.
Man,
Absolutely.
freaking
For sure. No doubt about it.
especially in handcuffs, especially with no gun.
Let me
Especially
try
with no
something.
gun. you think they pull over Steph Curry? They popping Steph Curry?
Nah.
Not Steph. Not Steph.
But they might get J.R. Smith though.
Oh, they'll pop J.R. Smith.
Oh, they just got Ezekiel Elliott. They've been getting Michael Irvin.
Yeah, they've been getting Mike. Long time dope head though. So let's be honest. He been on that powder. He been on that powder for 25 years though. Easy.
That's not fair because a lot of them are on that powder too.
No. I'm not making a comparison between the two. They all. I mean, well, not they all. Michael Irvin ain't dirty to me because being on powder don't mean nothing to me. But if you a cop and you supposed to be upholding the law and you want it, now that's a different story.
All right,
So
here, let's do this
and
real quick. We gonna do our own poll of the light skinned, dark skinned people that get shot by the police. So we just gonna look at pictures because that's all we got. So all right, right there. Then we see Michael Scott, dark skinned. This was the man in Florida that got shot.
Yep.
You guys remember him with this, the kid was acting up and he was his caretaker, dark skin.
Yep.
This kid right here looked like he's in the finger four, dark skin, hands up, dark skin.
Yep.
Hey,
Aaron Gardner, dark skin.
Dark skin.
Yep.
Trayvon
Philando Castillo, dark skin.
Trayvon wasn't shot by the police, but he was shot to death.
Yep.
Dark skin.
Yep. The little boy in Cleveland.
Dark skin.
Trayvon Martin.
No, not Trayvon. The kid that they wrote 11-year-old. Oh, okay, yeah. Michael Brown.
Sean Bell, dark skin.
Sean Bell, dark skin. Yep.
Ezel Ford, dark skin.
Dark skin. Yep. Wow.
The lady that got shot by the police in Baytown last week, dark skin.
Yep. Sandra Bland, dark skin.
Dark skin. Hey man, who said to look this up? Y'all making me. I'm scared.
Duke said it.
You see how dark I am, Duke?
Because there's some news you can use. And then after we do these, I want to see how many fair-skinned women have been shot opposed to colored women.
None.
0.
I'm gonna go on the M and say 0. Just right now, I'm gonna say 0. That's my guess.
-0.
Yeah, I might say in the world, in a country of what 30 million, I'm gonna say maybe 2 or 3.
Hey, that's 0 to me.
Tyrone, where you getting your facts from, man? You must be using Bing or something.
Well, no. There was a white woman shot by a police officer, except the police officer was black. So that's one.
That don't count.
That's one. And they
that don't even count.
That don't count.
And look,
that don't count.
And look, in the game of the Monopoly, he went straight to jail. You did?
Oh yeah, he in jail right now for life. They wanted to give him the death penalty. But
he out of there.
I want to say the reason why that don't count is because black people have a fear of white people. So that makes sense. So I'm gonna disqualify that right off the bat.
Yeah, he that one gets an exemption, man.
They get a pass.
Constitutional 13, I believe.
Oh, look. Well, look, but this lady, it says 3-hour police standoff ends with armed woman shot dead, but she had an armed standoff, so she probably should have got shot.
Hey, we talking about unarmed people. We ain't talking about people who pose the threat.
If you got a weapon and you if you pose a threat, I don't care.
We talking about defenseless. We talking about people
look. The cold part is, look, the one case that I could bring up, she was from Australia. No, the one with the one that she didn't, that she got the one that got shot by the black cop. She from Australia. I think
Yeah, she's not even American.
She was just visiting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Dang, no. So we see, no, that's a no. That's a
Hey,
a
can we?
negative.
Hey, and also, the cop that shot her was foreign too. He was like East African or something.
But see, okay, so look, just like the guy that faked being black to get in college. So that's what I'm saying. If you do something wrong and you dark enough, you black.
Hey, hold on.
Absolutely.
Let me say something, Tyrone, for 1 second. Anytime I've ever purchased a donut, I like the old-fashioned plain donuts, the brown one with no icing, no sprinkles. I ain't never liked powdered donuts.
What?
Dang, look, I thought I found another white woman that was shot by the police. It's the same one.
Nah, you ain't gonna never find another one.
It's the same. Hey, but like I said 2 or 3, and I was off by the 2.
Yep. And that don't even count. And that one you showing is disqualified off the bat, off the rip. I'm not even counting that one.
And because the guy that shot her, this is him right here. They got it. He in his if you would say in LA, he in his Hoover Orange. I didn't mean to.
Yeah, he I think he's African, if I'm not mistaken.
Man, that's a cold game. That's a cold game. Hey, y'all, what you guys think out there?
What nigga?
Betty Boo. hey, Betty Boo said Pharaoh talking about that old-fashioned glaze. LOL.
No, this one, the donut I'm talking about.
You talking about the dry one?
The dry one, the one with no sugar, really no sugar in it. It's just
it's
plain.
just bread. You just want
the bread, deep fried bread.
That's my favorite donut.
Just deep fried bread.
That's a Pharaoh fact.
He said he liked them deep fried donuts, regular bread, light brown, just the light brown ones.
You know what I'm saying? Just just simple, man. You know what I'm talking about? It got enough melanin in it, and that's all I like. I like that,
All right, look, hey, let me ask you guys a question. And this was something that I was gonna read. I was gonna do it just as an article, read the article as a news question, but we got Duke with news you could use, and we got Prince with news that you need to have with meme knowledge. So here, let's turn this up. Kamala Harris proposes equal pay measures to close gender gap. Okay, I'm all for that, but can they propose something for the racial gap? You know what I'm saying?
That ain't going. They already did that for Asians and Latinos. They said they could be white. We did look that up.
and the Asians they took full advantage of it.
They don't have enough in the salary cap, man, to do that for everybody.
They're gonna go over the salary cap.
They don't got enough. They can't. Look, but look, if they could do it for women, which I agree with. I agree, gender gap, if we same work, same pay. But look, I know a lot of brothers that don't get paid the same because they brothers. Like, I got a cousin, he worked for a company right now. He don't get paid as much as the other people because he ain't related to them. So this happens in all type of shapes and fashions. So can we all get a little piece?
It wouldn't be capitalism if everybody got a piece.
So exactly. So was she proposing capitalism? Look, Prince in there pushing up 300 pounds real quick.
No, it's not. It's not capitalism.
On the treadmill, man. The only way you can have an interview at the gym is if you on the treadmill. Right?
Nah, I'm on the weights, man. I don't do I do first, and then I hit the. I get on these weights.
The Bluetooth in.
Yeah. I got the. I got the Bluetooth.
Man, hey, y'all get y'all a Prince, man, ladies. If you in the comments, get you a Prince. He a multitasker.
Paper dollhouses say, Nasha say, no, women need this. Nasha, I'm not saying women don't. I'm saying
shoot.
I'm gonna say this about it, because if we go in order of the first sin, so to speak, like what came first, it would be sexism. And I am a firm believer that if without sexism, there would be no racism. So
Was it sexism back then, or was it tradition?
I mean, tradition is rooted in sex. I mean, however you want to slice it, sexism was first, and then they made it a tradition. So the tradition is to oppress women. But as far as this law is concerned, in this country, in this day and age, you got to start with race.
Okay, ladies, we've already given you Women's Day, and that was a Russian holiday for women over there. And we gave you WIC, we gave you food stamps, we gave you sole paternity. What else do you want?
Well, they could say men could get food stamping. Well, I don't think a man can get WIC.
No, they can't like that. Not on no with 3 and 4 kids. No, they can't.
Like he said, they don't got enough in the salary cap to give us and them.
Man, I
can't do that.
I think this is a whole bunch of political posturing.
Absolutely.
It's a whole bunch of political posturing. I was reading. Go ahead, Prince.
I was gonna say, and that's the difference. Because somebody asked me this question yesterday, like, what's the difference between a progressive and a liberal? That's some liberal shit.
Exactly.
It's fake. It's surface deep. It ain't gonna really correct the problem. You know what I'm saying? A real progressive will be trying to get to it at its root. Like, why is it even happening to begin with? You know what I'm saying? She just on some like, I'm gonna throw this Band-Aid on this bullet wound and see.
Are you gonna use the bar?
Oh no, I'm sorry. She's trying to put a Band-Aid, on a bullet wound, and that's what a lot of liberals do. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's all fake. It's all for show. To me, like you were saying, it's all for political gain, or look at me. You know what I'm saying? Like she's trying to position herself for a VP spot because she know she ain't gonna be the president. You know what I'm saying? Her campaign is pretty much dead in the water. So now she's like, okay, I can get women on my side.
Right,
I'm gonna play the women card.
Right. All right. And what you think? You think it's just politics?
It is.
100%. All right, look, I'm gonna show you guys this last one before I get on up out of here. And look, this is something that I was reading. It's it's about the Mississippi abortion ban. And I'm not even going to even get all into the details about the abortion ban. I'm gonna tell you what else I noticed. Let me scroll down. It says Mississippi governor signs the heartbeat abortion ban into law. Here's what you need to know. So I came down and I looked at this picture. And what stands out to the two of you guys about this picture?
That there's
a lot of women
crowded around the dude.
Women crowded around a dude. And you guys are thinking that in the context of abortion. And so you got a few women right around him, right in front, and that's for the picture. Then you have just a couple sprinkled in the back, but up close you see more women. But no, that's not what I noticed. I did notice that, but I said, where are all the black people? I'm not trying to make it racist, but where are the black people?
Well, you know that's face value. That's a given. I mean, that's something that I thought about, but if you look at it, you know what I mean? Like, come on, these laws are not meant for us. The 13th Amendment is not for black people.
There's one
already on the thing. I just needed one.
We have a show coming up on that tomorrow, actually, in the morning. We're gonna do it at 11.
I'll be there.
Yeah, we're gonna do it at 11 Pacific, one Central, and two on the East. And then look, you guys, 1 second. So this is what I noticed. So I went over to the population by race in Mississippi. In Mississippi, black people are 37%. On the average in the United States, 12.6%. So they are more than double in Mississippi. But when you look at their representation, they ain't got nobody black as far as representation.
Yep.
Okay, so how can you ask for equal rights for women and they're not for all women? Because Women's Day was not meant for all women, man. I don't know why people miss these facts.
I would say this about the that law. So you're right. The reason why there's no black people is because of how the lines are drawn, the district lines are drawn, and because Republicans are known for gerrymandering and fucking up elections. You know what I'm saying? So are the Democrats, but Republicans, as far on that level, they are more about small. They like controlling the small level. You know what I'm saying? So on a smaller scale, right? The Democrats are more like senators and Congress people and so on and so forth. But Republicans know that small government is just as important as big government. So they have basically systematically eliminated black people from participating in the government in a lot of these places. You know what I'm saying? So because of the way they draw these district lines. So that's why you don't see that many black people in that picture. But more importantly, though, because women, like I posted something about this the other day when the whole abortion shit was coming out, a lot of women, they were trying to act like it's a man versus woman thing. And I was like, nah, man, it's not. It seems like that on the surface, but it's not. It's deeper than that. It's a religious thing. That's where they get the authority to do this. That's where it comes from. It doesn't come from just a moral standpoint, right? It doesn't just come from like.
Heard that. That's pretty deep, right?
It's all from a religious standpoint, because look at the states that it's in. What do they call that? The Bible Belt, Mississippi, Arkansas. You know what I'm saying? That's the Bible Belt, right? Okay, cool.
You can add Missouri too.
You can add Missouri to that. All of those are just they're extremely Christian-based countries. And here's the thing. I don't even want to blame Christianity, because I know Judaism, Christianity, and Islam all came from the same religion. So they all if this was a Muslim country, it would be the same fucking way. So I'm not just blaming Christianity, but I'm just saying in this country, because this country is rooted in Christianity, that's where it comes from. It comes from a place of religion, and that's why you see, because in Alabama, the woman that signed the law signed the bill was a female, and the woman that wrote the law was a female. Yeah, all the other the 22 whatever men that signed it, yeah, but that's just who they voted for. 60,
right. 60%. And you're right, and that's who they voted into
in office. That's what I'm saying. That's the representation. And so look, of women voted for them.
And it goes to what you were saying. And look, that's a picture of her right there. That's the governor of Alabama. Her name is Kay Ivey. And I have heard a lot of people say, well, men can't legislate on a woman's body, but it's a lot of women. But it's the Bible Belt. And yeah, I agree. It does have a lot of it's rooted in religious beliefs. And I think the only reason they're doing it now is because they're trying to get it back in front of the Supreme Court, because the Supreme Court has changed now. The reflection of the Supreme Court is totally different, and they want to overturn Roe versus Wade. But look, what were we talking about earlier, Duke? Do it got something to do with them wanting to raise their numbers and population? But
this is all consensus based, man.
Yes, for sure. That's it too, for sure, without a doubt. But they do it. But here's what I'm saying: it's a dog whistle though, because they can't come out and say that. It's like everything else in this country. They cannot come out. It's a Southern strategy. They cannot come out and say, "Hey, white people, we need to ban abortions because it's killing a gang of white children and our numbers are dwindling." They can't say that. So what do? They ban it in a state like Alabama, Mississippi, Missouri. They wouldn't do that shit in Chicago, in Illinois. They wouldn't do that shit.
Okay, look, man, look out, Prince. I'm finna say this to paper doll houses. If that's the case, if you don't instead of using a manipulation tactic, use a scare tactic. In all of these predominantly Caucasian states, they need to raise the consent age, sex consent to 18 years old. And that'll cure most of their problem, because in most of the predominantly Caucasian states, it is 16.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. But I think what they need to do is just teach, like they do in every other developed country in the world. They need to just teach us a proper ways to protect ourselves and about birth control. And I think I just read this article.
Home ec out of school. Home ec, not home ec, but sex education in the public schools.
But didn't that come because the curriculum changed? Sex education, it changed, you know. And here, let me see.
It also what happened was I think I forgot what state they did this in. It's in America though. They basically offered women free birth control, and abortions dropped by 40% in like a year.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Look,
So
look,
there's a cure to the problem. The cure to the problem is education, and protection, not banning abortions. That's stupid.
I gotta I have so look, I brought up what Duke was talking about, the age of consent. Yep, 16, Alabama and Alaska, Arkansas 16, California 18, 16 Connecticut.
Exactly. Georgia 16, Hawaii 16, Idaho. Hold on, let's go. Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, and these are predominantly Caucasian states, man.
Shit, I can't name one. The only states that's not predominantly Caucasian is California and and New York, probably.
Nah, I think California is close.
Well, I wouldn't say
more
predominantly
Hispanic.
Caucasian. I'm just gonna say most of the laws in the Constitution, it protects them more than everybody else in those
absolutely
in those states.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say predominantly
Yeah.
because we know it's not. They
Yeah.
don't really overrun us. But the thing is, where you see it says 16,
Look,
why isn't that level raised higher to 18?
everywhere.
And
then
my
look,
question is, how would that stop it though?
but
No,
look,
it will stop it because you know what I'm saying. If you have sex with a minor, you get like 10 years max. Ain't no probation, ain't no bond. You don't get none of that.
so you're saying a lot of it is coming from people having sex with minors.
Exactly.
And look,
Exactly.
in Hawaii, there's you can allow a 5-year age difference. So a
Exactly.
21-year-old can still consensually have sex with a 16-year-old.
Exactly.
And
This is
I'm
the
gonna
problem.
be honest with y'all. I know I'm gonna say something that's probably gonna be kind of controversial to a lot of people because I feel like it's just our culture. I ain't gonna say brainwash, it's just our culture. Yes, I agree with Hawaii. I think there definitely is like a level because here how I look at it is like if we could have been in high school together, like what's the, you know what I'm saying? Like just because like if I met you when I was a senior and you were a freshman and then I'm supposed to stop dating you because I hit 18 and you know what I'm saying, because of this number, like I don't believe in that. I always thought that was like stupid, that it was like, well, she's 17 and
Okay,
I'm 18.
well that kind of gets an exemption with parental consent. You feel what I'm talking about? We talking about these grown men out here raping these women, doing all this other stuff, and they're getting off on probation. And the majority of people that are doing all this statutory raping, this raping and molesting, they are Caucasian and fair-skinned Americans.
Absolutely.
Fact.
Look, hold on, you guys. In Utah, the age of consent is 18, right? But there's a 10-year age gap before they would claim it that it was rape.
Exactly.
Look, acceptable differences in between age.
And Utah's majority Caucasian.
It's all
Absolutely.
Caucasian.
Oh my God, it's 92%.
So 10 years. So
it's crazy.
It's 10 years. That's crazy.
But okay, but the reality of it is that the majority of women who are getting abortions aren't women who are getting raped or getting molested or whatever, right? So it's not that. It's what's really messing it up is that like y'all was saying, they took sex ed out to school, and even when it was in the school, they wasn't really giving us real sex ed. They were teaching us some bullshit. And then B, they don't provide provisions. They don't give you the protection. They don't give you the birth control. That shit should be free because in their mind, they feel like if they do that, then they're promoting it. I'm like, dude, we gonna have sex anyway. It's the same thing with drugs. Just legalize all drugs. We already doing it. Why are you criminalizing something that?
I don't want.
Okay, hold on, Tyrone. Before you try to dilute his alkaline water, bro. Just chill, man. Just cool, man, bro. Just chill. Hey, Tyrone be trying to do that, Prince, and you know he be trying to check this out. Check this out. Paper Doll House says, what does age have to do with the child being not prepared to be a mother? Let me tell you.
Preparation comes with experience, not to dilute the alkaline.
That
okay,
question,
so look, this is my point. this is my point in saying this. And this is like running CC concurrent with this. The reason why younger women are not prepared for maternity is because of the monogamy laws in this country. We need to reestablish what marriage is and how we can be married and how many people we can marry. It doesn't matter what the financial status is, because I guarantee you, if women had sister wives and the father and the mother were not working these slave ass jobs, there would be time. There would be somebody there instead of throwing them in a daycare where they getting cared for by people who just are there for the paycheck and really don't care about the children. So and it goes all the way up through high school. They've taken sex ed out of the schools, and then they've purposely made it to where the hardship of raising a teen female is going to be way more difficult. The mother doesn't have that time. Like Paper Dollhouse, you a single mother. I guarantee you, when the kids get older, you gonna find some time. Okay, well, I raised them up. Now it's time for me to go and get to work 2-3 jobs. Ain't no time. Ain't no time to raise these young women right.
Ain't no time. So you ain't got no time, Paper Dollhouses. What you got to say? Nah, Shanae.
Now, I don't know. I think that raising that the reason why the girls aren't prepared is for many reasons, but one of them economically, obviously, like you were just saying, like if you're 16, 17, 18, what kind of job can you have? Exactly. Right? How can you provide? But where's the husband? Where's the boyfriend at?
That's also what I'm saying. They tore household. That whole dynamic. When they say single family homes, they talking about one parent and a bunch of goddamn displaced ass bastards.
Well, here, let me say something. I think when it comes to abortion and everybody looking for all these different ancillary reasons, because of this and education to change it, I don't think too much of nothing to change it. A lot of people get abortions. I don't care how much educated you are. You know how many educated women get abortions while they in college?
Because it's not that, Tyrone.
Hold on. Let me finish.
Okay.
Whatever type of education on sexual education, on protection education, as far as book education, people make bad decisions. When people are young, they make worse decisions. People get hot, horny, have sex, and get pregnant. It's more of a willpower thing. It's more of a responsibility thing. It's just something that happens, man. I know people who are very educated in every facet of education, people who know all about, I know 500 different types of birth control, and I got pregnant and I got an abortion. Like, far as that type of education as well. It's just people make bad decisions, and sometimes an abortion is just like a start over button. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but the reality isn't. There's too much. What I'm saying is there's too much science behind what really does stop abortion. That's what I'm saying. So it's not an opinion. It's not like I like to, I'm not. This is not anecdotal. What I'm telling you, I'm not just making this up. Like, I think this is how it works. Like, there's numbers. Like they just the city that gave all the women birth control, the abortion rate dropped 40%. That wasn't on accident. You see what I'm saying? In other countries like France, when you start them young and you teach them about sex and you don't make sex some taboo thing and you don't make them afraid to talk about it, they understand it better and they want it and they respect it. You see what I'm saying? They fear it like they should at an early age, so they're not ready for it, right? And then they practice safer sex and they practice, so on and so forth. The education is always key.
The acceptance is different, and then too, they have a different social net as well in a lot of those countries too, to where those kids, people might feel like them kids will be better taken care of than they will out here in the United States, because out here, a lot of people feel like once you had a baby, you on your own. You're gonna have to do what you got to do. You're gonna have to fend and survive. Where the social safety net there just might be a little bit better in some of them places. But there are other countries where abortion rates are higher than the United States, and it's normally poor countries.
And it's normally what countries? It's Asian countries, really.
No, I said poor. And Asians do it because they got laws against having
babies. They were having babies. They were having so many babies, and the population was growing so much that in countries like China, they were like, nah, you can't have over 2 kids. You know what I'm saying? And then the number started to dwindle. Now they're paying women to have kids again.
So Prince
Yep.
and Tyrone. Okay, so we see that other countries know how to attack this problem because they don't have abortions in other countries where they can control it. Since we are a free nation, we are the only ones that have a problem with this because there's so many laws in place that constitute people's individuality when it's not a real reality on the perspective. If you have kids out being promiscuous and doing exactly what they think that they should do and they don't have to adhere to guidance in ruling, then that's chaos. That's too much chaos.
No
I mean,
work.
I don't believe in
no rules.
I never believe in I don't like totalitarianism. So I don't like telling people what they can and they can't do. That's not that never works. It doesn't work in any society. It's anytime it's ever been tried, it ends in disaster, and people's quality of life is typically lower. My answer to everything will always be education, awareness. Always. I know, because I'm not trying to stop abortions completely, right? Because that's stupid.
Education and awareness. People, I think people underestimate people's awareness about certain things. Like when people say things like, okay, understanding and awareness, you don't think that people understand that there's going to be consequences to being pregnant before they have sex? They understand.
No, I don't think they understand that. I don't think
they
that
understand that because look, click it or ticket. This is the whole conversation right here. Click it or ticket. If you text and drive, you're going to jail or you're getting a ticket. That's how it should be. That's how it should be laid out for all the foundations of ruling against opposition to what the common law is. You feel what I'm saying? This stuff is really common sense, but how can it be common sense when they've taken and displaced the parents out of the home? They don't. I guarantee you, parents spend more time at working on social media than they do with their kids, man.
I believe that a lot of parents.
I agree with that.
I agree with that.
But the problem. Here's what I'm saying though. The parents don't know because the parents were never taught because we were never taught as a country. That's what I'm saying.
Wait, hold on. I gotta disagree with
perfect.
you guys.
That's perfect. That is the pinnacle
how
of the
can
conversation.
Okay, that's the pinnacle of the conversation, but how much more education do you need than a whole bunch of examples?
Okay,
look, hold on.
Tyrone, that's not education, man.
To who?
That's not education. That's not only certain people learn like that.
He just educated the people on how many people is actually in the goddamn country.
And because they didn't do that before. Because look, I'm talking about an example. If you come from a home that's an impoverished home, if a mother had a child that was too young, you don't think that you've seen the life that she had and the life
that don't happen to everybody though.
But it happens to a lot of people, and people understand. People grow up. I mean, let's not act like. Look, I think that people are smarter than what you guys are giving them credit for. I do think.
No.
You're we talking about the people that's lying with all the information. We ain't talking about.
You conflating the two things. You conflating two different things.
Okay, well, hold on. Let me talk and let me unconflate it for you. I'm talking about one thing in general. I am talking about abortion. Prince is saying that. I think it's education. I don't think it's just education. I think that sometimes people make bad decisions.
No.
And I think
hold
on, let me finish. So you don't say I'm conflating anything. A lot of the times when abortions happen is because people just they made a bad decision. People might even know the consequences of it, but they still do it. When people want to have sex, people do it all the time. People get AIDS knowing that AIDS is out there, knowing that they could put on the condom and stop it, but people still get AIDS. People go eat cheeseburgers and smoke cigarettes and do like that, knowing full well the education process of it to know that it'll harm you, and they still do it. It's the same thing with sex. People want to say if they had more education, people are going to do it. That's my point.
I'm letting Prince go first because
you
have it, Tyrone.
All right. So what I'm saying is that first of all, what you're saying it's not going against what I'm saying because both of those two things could coexist at the same time.
Okay.
So I'm not, because you're using the word sometimes, which I never said that. I never said this is how you stop it completely, because you can't. I just said you can't stop it
Okay.
completely. There's
Okay.
always going to be people who make mistakes. We're
Okay.
talking for the masses, not the asses, right? So we talk for the vast majority, not everybody. There's never going to be anything that can be applied to everybody. You see what I'm saying?
I think the vast majority of people who get abortions are getting abortions because they made a mistake, not because they didn't know the consequences.
Okay,
That's all I'm saying.
Tyrone, can I ask you this, Tyrone?
Yeah, you can ask me
Google
anything.
Facts?
You can ask me anything, dude.
Okay, when did you learn? You ready?
Yes, sir.
When did you learn that all condoms have microscopic holes in them?
I learned that when I learned that condoms have a 99% rating of stopping.
Okay. What
not
year was
100.
That? What year was that?
I was about 15.
Okay,
I learned it in sex ed.
Okay. Okay, look. Okay, so when does sex education become omitted out of the public schooling?
Thank you.
I don't remember the year. I can't tell you the exact year, but I know what you mean. Let's say 2010.
Okay, so it was within the decade. It was in the near decade and a half.
Okay.
So how can like check this out? I'm okay, just like with 3T. How can now this is what we had like a disconnect. How can you say that polygamy is not right and you don't know the history of it on why they got rid of it? You feel what I'm talking about?
I never said polygamy wasn't right.
No, I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about somebody else in another conversation that I was having.
Okay.
On my channel. So how can and by no means we're saying that the people are stupid. They're just misinformed. The people who have all the information, they're not telling it right, just like world history and U.S. geography. They not telling the real truth on how everything. Daniel Boone, that was a lie. The Alamo was a lie.
All right. Now can I ask you something, Mr. Pharaoh? Mr. Duke Pharaoh. How many people do you think are getting abortions because their condom failed?
Very few.
Very few, because most of them women who get pregnant, they get pregnant because they don't use a condom.
Okay, that's my point. People know that condoms prevent pregnancies to the most part, and they still don't use them. That's my point about education not being the factor to change it. It's decision making.
Do you think it's a mistake or lack of parental guidance that they made the mistake?
I think it's hormones being horny. That's what I think it is. That's what I honestly think it is. Look, hold on. I had great parents, and they taught me all about sex. And
how many girls in the church is number Stone Cold Freaks then?
A bunch of them.
Okay then.
Oh, dude, a bunch of them. Well, look, but that's what I'm saying. Look, I understood education. We've all understood education, or we all know about condoms, but most people done have sex without one. Most people done crossed that line, man, without one.
But we not. But the thing is, though, it's when we get into these discussions, it's the thing that trips me out is that we could think. I don't know how we come to how we could even think like this. That like basically, to me, I'm hearing that it's just innately or inherently in us to be like this, and that's crazy.
No, us. Who is us? Because I'm not talking about no race.
Humans.
I'm saying humans.
No, yes, I said no. Us as humans, not black people, not white people.
Okay. Humans do naturally.
I'm talking about
create. Humans
naturally want to
have sex.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I got you. I'm not saying that that's not true. I'm just saying that like, okay, it's like fighting, right? So like we all can be pushed to be violent. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's in us on a primal level to want to fight or whatever the case may be, right? You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's like my sons are 3 and 6, and I never hit them, but they hit me. You know what I'm saying? Like they know how to ball up their fists and swing. I didn't teach them that when they was young. Like now I teach them how to box and shit. But even before that, they already knew to swing. They knew how to wrestle. That's a primal thing. That's in us. So I'm not going against that. But the difference is that now I teach them when it's right to fight. I teach them how to control their anger. You don't got to get mad all the time. You can't let everybody provoke you to want to fight, right? Same thing with sex. It's the same thing. Like, yeah, it's in us. We all want to bone. We all want to have babies. Yeah. I'm not disputing that at all. I'm just saying that the education comes in where the education would help is teaching people to respect their bodies. Because you can say, oh, everybody doesn't respect their bodies.
I agree with that. I would never say everybody respects their bodies.
Tyrone, you ain't even looking at all the factors. Adult Swim, SpongeBob, all these sexualized cartoons and music. You got to look at the factors. Our social society is raising our children, so in the subconscious, it is okay if your daughter is lesbian and got a girlfriend and she got a girlfriend, if your son is out there having promiscuous sex, because now they're hoes. So the mentality of dealing with a harlot is the common norm in the past decade, cuz. So this abortion really wasn't that big of a deal 11 years ago, 15 years ago.
Yeah, it was. It
was. Abortion been a hot topic since the 70s. Abortion been a hot topic since the 70s.
Yeah. It's been a hot topic
on the scale that it is right now.
Oh, it has been. It just only come up in political season. It was worse.
It was worse.
Okay,
what happened?
I'm talking about on
the whole thing of Roe v. Wade. The whole Roe v. Wade. That was it was worse. Yeah. Like they took them to court.
They had to go to the Supreme Court. But look, and I think, and I agree with, I don't think either one of you guys are wrong. I do think you can have varying things that go together. So I get what you're saying, Duke, about the sexualization and the over-sexualization and the things that people are seeing. I agree with you as well, Prince, especially when you say, because I did realize when you say about
taking the high road.
No, I'm being honest. I'm being honest.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna be honest. I understand what Prince was saying when he was talking about people respecting their bodies, because I mean, we do see it that a lot of not just women but men too don't respect their bodies. Just turn on the internet and scroll up. You'll find somebody disrespecting their own body, and I do think that the proliferation of that has made it okay for other people, like Duke was saying. But I still also, and this is going to be me not going backwards on what I'm saying, I still think a lot of people have abortions already knowing the consequences of having sex before they have it. I don't think
so before
we all know about our bodies, and we all know about the education, and somebody about to go have sex still without a condom.
Before the era of love and marriage, I'm talking about like Family Matters and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You know, when Dr. Huxtable, and you know when our society was teaching us, social society, our phonics society. The time when that has passed, because now women are getting abortions and all of that because they want their body to be right because of social classification. So that's what I was actually meaning on the terms of abortion being a thing now, because it is a social thing now. It's not so much a political thing; it's a social thing.
I know a lot of parents.
It's not.
I know a lot of parents who have made their daughters get abortion because they felt that was going to mess up their future. You see what I'm saying? I know a lot of women.
It's not taboo.
Go ahead, P.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say the thing is that a reason why women get abortions now, it makes perfect sense. It's because it's legal. It's because it's not as taboo as it was 30 years ago. You see what I'm saying? Like, but I don't think that to me, that's not the problem. Like, I'm not blaming the woman, because for a woman, yeah, legal. But the woman, for her to put herself through that psychological drama, through the physical trauma, that you got to go through to get an abortion. They have to feel like it has to be a dire situation the vast majority of the time. They have to feel like there's no other way out. Regardless of what you think as a man, I know women that have had abortions, and you know women that have had abortions, but I've talked to them, and that's what they told me by and large, is on a person-to-person, speaking strictly anecdotally. They told me, dude, I felt like there was no other way. You see what I'm saying? I felt like if I had this baby, my life was over, and that baby's life was over, more importantly. I didn't know what I was going to do.
And that ain't even the case, because like 5 or 6 years ago, we was at 7.4 billion plus. Now we at 7.6 billion. So that all that other stuff, we still having babies. It's
Still
like
having
353,000 babies born every day to date.
All right, Prince. Now, look, can you tell me if this is an example of a lady having to get an abortion? Because I know when I got 4 kids already, I'm not having no more, so I'm getting an abortion. Or, you know what? My career is booming right now. I'm moving forward. I'm getting an abortion. And like I said, these are real life cases of people that I know. So for me, it's not anecdotal. Are those people who had to get in, was that dire need or was that a decision? And both women fully knew the consequences, knew the education. It's decisions, but was that something they had to do?
We ain't talking about women. We talking about hoes and harlots, man. Thoughts and
Nah, I'm not on that. I don't want no part of that. I'm not calling no woman that gets an abortion a hoe. I don't like calling women.
No. This is what I'm saying. The women that do make some bad decisions are healthy. You have to go through the good and bad in life. But there are women out there that are purposely going through these changes and these motions and get in these situations and then do the woe is me thing and then go through these abortion processes. I'm not talking about the women who was raised right and the women who, had too much to drink and don't usually do that. I'm talking about the ones that are habitual. I'm talking about the habituals.
You think the majority? I don't think the majority of women who get abortions get multiple abortions. I think they get one abortion. And I'm just common sense would tell me that.
I wouldn't say common sense. You shouldn't say common sense would tell you that, Prince, because I know women who've had multiple abortions.
Me too. Me too. But I'm not. But I didn't say no woman. But I didn't say no woman gets multiple abortions. I said once again, we keep. It doesn't to me. These concepts don't seem like they don't. The shit that I'm saying doesn't seem like it should be that hard to grasp. But it's
because you can't say either way. You can't say that more women do because of a reason or more women don't if we don't have any factual numbers.
Man, how you gonna hold on, Tyrone? How you gonna say a woman that was raised right and got the right dynamics and the right pieces to the puzzle goes in there? I'm talking about these majority. I'm talking about their consensus. They go in there and they got more support. You feel what I'm saying? They got an opportunity to have grandparents.
That is so rare, dude. That's so rare. The situation you're describing is so rare, dude. The majority of women. Hold on, time out. Where is Planned Parenthood at? Since we on the subject, where is it at? It's in the hood.
Yeah, and girls from the suburbs drive to the hood. What does that mean? How do you know? That's
because you okay. Guess what, Tyrone? Since you got the computer over there and you got all the gadgets, you need to go ahead and Google every geographical location where Planned Parenthood is. We gonna see.
I know they in the hood.
Okay, cool.
Black neighborhoods. No,
it's in the hood. It's in the hood. So let's follow the
hood. The only place where a woman can get an abortion.
Come on, man. Don't do that. Who performs? Hold on. Who performs the majority of Tyrone? Who performs the majority of abortions? Planned Parenthood. I'm not making this shit up.
You're right about that, but let's not act like.
So let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Suburbs can't drive.
Tyrone.
Didn't about stuff you don't know. That's my point.
I didn't say that though. You did. It's like if I speak for the majority, then you flip it to I'm saying like nobody does. I'm not saying that.
What the majority is. You're guessing on the majority based on where.
If you listen to what I'm saying. You just agree with me. The majority of the Planned Parenthoods are where? In the hood. The majority of them.
Doesn't mean that that's where everybody is. That don't mean that that's where the majority of people getting abortions are. You can
That
be.
is.
You can.
We just agreed on that. We just agreed on it 2 seconds ago.
Okay,
we're
look it
agreeing
up.
on where
Look it
Planned
up.
Parenthood is.
Look it up.
I agree where Planned Parenthood is. I also agree that women in the suburbs could drive to Planned Parenthood. I also believe that women that got money can find Planned Parenthood.
Right.
I also believe you can also mix Planned Parenthood numbers with people who get abortions from their private doctor.
Right.
People who get abortions from places where they don't give the numbers and consensus to say because Planned Parenthood.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah, exactly. So the numbers could be mixed up any other way, except when we talking about this. So what I'm trying to say is you can't say that it's mainly these people. We don't know that based on where Planned.
Okay, can we get the numbers then, Coach? Can we get the numbers then? Can we get the stats
of abortions?
Yeah, the who doing it? Who doing it the most? Can we get the numbers?
It's gonna be black women.
No, but can we get the demographics, because they have to give like a history, a psychology on. Can we get that kind of information?
I don't know. We might have to look that up.
Hey, y'all, this is healthy. Like we men, like we professionals.
Abortion statistic by facts. Blacks, on the other hand, make up 12% of the United States population, but are responsible for 32% of all abortions, while Hispanics make up 14% of the United States and responsible for 20% of all of abortions, according to recent and most consensus data available by race. So yeah, this is saying black women get the most abortions.
Okay, and I wish that we can look up what they're back, because they ask like for references and emergency contact and all that stuff. I know they ask for those things.
Yeah, we'd have to figure that out.
Yeah, one day we're gonna figure that out.
So what's the question? What demographic is getting the most abortions, or is it people not educated?
What type of woman?
And see, and that's my whole point. How can you quantify what type of woman when there's a vast different women? And look, just because a woman is poor, don't mean she's uneducated either. Just because a woman
is talking about uneducated, we're talking about the people who educating us. They're the ones blind. They giving false information. That's just like if I tell you, hey man, the what's the name? If you go 2 blocks that way past the greenhouse, and then you take another left and hang another right, and then you make a U-turn and then go up under the overpass, and when you see the lighthouse, you're gonna be where you need to be. But I gave you instead of blue, it was red. I gave you the wrong information. Now you all the way, you 2 hours out the way.
Yeah. I get you.
So the key word that he said was legal. It's legal now. And the key thing about this whole thing, to summarize all of this, is that the people who are giving us the information, they have bamboozled us. They have swindled us. They have lied to us. They are not being honest about why they're doing this and why they present or give this to us. And they not really being honest. So they say, okay, we finna give you some turkey burgers. But these pork burgers, we don't know that they pork burgers
pork
because they look like, because it says turkey burger on the package.
Right. I get you. And the people that are making up the numbers are in control of what we see. But my only point with what I was trying to say is we keep trying to make reasons where women are doing it because they don't know, or women are doing it because they can't never take care of their kids. Women are doing it because what I'm trying to say is it's a bunch of reasons. Stop trying to always say it's because, they're always in a position to where they can't take care of the baby. It's always because of, sometimes they just messed up. Or it's because of education. No, they just messed up. Sometimes people just mess up. That's all I'm saying.
You standing on that? You standing on that?
Sometimes people just mess up. Yeah. Heck yeah.
Hey, well, that's what I'm saying. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that point right there. I'm cool with that. The thing is, though, I'm just like I attack the industry. I do not blame niggas for shooting other people. I blame the industry. I blame the school systems. I blame the government. I blame the people who have the majority of control and the majority of information.
Hold
Not
on.
the majority that's doing it.
Prince, I see you. It says attendees that have one, but it only got chat next to your name.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I don't blame everybody. I don't blame the people. We the people. I do not blame we the people for what is currently going on. I don't blame everybody. You know what I'm talking about? I blame the people that institute all of this stuff, Gus.
Yeah, me too. And like I said, and my thing is too, and as a man, it's very hard for me to speak for a woman. So even talking about this, I'm actually proud that we talking about it because, you know, we have feelings and we have thoughts and stuff too. But my thing is like I said, and look, I got to jump off. My son is graduating from 1st to 2nd grade today.
Oh, that's good, man. Congratulations to him.
Yeah. But all I'm gonna say is, and P, I'm trying to add you, have you in attendees, but it
3T, get in the conversation. Then, if you're gonna say that men with no vaginas, then what about a single father who has a daughter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Tell her, Duke.
Yeah, because you trying to sneak one in, but
T's trying to sneak one.
Look, she tried to sneak.
One. Oh, 3T's. Oh, 3T's. She gonna sneak one in on us. Hey, we gonna have to get this in again. But yeah, all I'm saying, and too, as men, we have thoughts, but I can't speak on women, but all I can speak of is my experiences. I've seen women get abortions for a bevy of different reasons. And it's not always because I had no choice or I was raped or I'm going to die if I had a baby. A lot of the times it be, from my experience, I just don't want this kid. The timing is wrong. I already got kids, or the timing is wrong. I just made a mistake.
That's the small percentage. That's not the big percent. But anyway, I ain't going. Yeah, man, I really appreciate it. Next time we have this discussion, ladies, any discussion about ladies, y'all need to come on, man. We want to hear y'all.
Do you know how hard it is to get women on the show, man? It is a task. And sometimes I do hear women saying, you guys are talking about women issues, man. We invite women all the time. So if any woman ever want to get on.
You know why it's hard to get women on?
Why?
Because of the consistency issues, and then they have to work. They got a couple kids, you know what I mean? They got to tend to this and this and that. They got to do their Snapchats. They got to do their Instagrams. They got to do their they're following the homosexual agendas. You know what I mean? Watching they got things to do. They got makeup to do. They got a lot of stuff to do. You know what I mean?
Paper on Dollhouses, I do ask you. You've been on plenty of times. She said, Tyrone, don't ask me.
You came on the other time, Ms. Dollhouse.
I know, and about 3 or 4 times before that. But she does. She's one that's willing to say what she needs to say. I asked her today, but I don't think she had time.
Well, but, I'm finna go find some more women, man, because it's like 82 or 87% women follow me. So yeah, I'm gonna make sure.
Yeah, and make sure they know that on the normal show, I just moderate it. I don't even really give my opinion. So this was fun for me to actually give an opinion and to be able to talk. You know what I'm saying? So
I was gonna say, oh, Tyrone, how have you changed? I was gonna say, you must have had a monster drink on this show.
No, I like to talk to you. We'll talk on the phone for hours. You know?
Yeah.
So no, man, I just glad that we got a chance to have a conversation and talk about it. Ladies, definitely, abortion is something to do with ladies. Men, we don't have to go through abortion. So I know sometimes we might feel a psychological effect. I do know men that didn't want their women to have abortions, and the women wouldn't have abortions anyway. So there's a few different sides of the scenario. So maybe we should pick it up again, Duke. Let's get some ladies and do it again.
Okay, yeah, and I will be back tomorrow for the 11 for the conversation tomorrow, because I'm interested in that one too.
Okay. All right, you guys. Well, we're gonna get out of here. You guys, thanks for watching. Duke, thanks for coming on. Prince, thank you for coming on.
Man, we're doing it.
All right, man. I'll let you guys later.
Cool then.